Take 3. Sgdq 2025 Unboxed, everybody. Are you guys ready? Okay. This is not the vibe. This is not the vibe. We need something slightly more epic than that. That works. That works. So we're going to take it from the 3rd of July, 2025, where it all began. But is it really? I mean, sure, that's where the event began, but there's a lot that led up to us going to this event and performing there. So I would like to go back in time, just real quickly, and share with you guys a little bit about my background. Maybe there's people here who watch the run who don't know much about me, and just take you guys back to where it really all began. And I was really trying to think of when this was. When was the original origin of this whole thing happening? And the earliest memory that I had was this YouTube video right here. It was Wind Waker HD by Linker7 in 3 hours, 49 minutes, and 19 seconds at Sgdq 2017. As far as I remember, this is the very first GDQ run, and I think the very first speedrun that I ever saw. I was like 13 when this happened, and I remember watching this. This was like pre-barrier skip, all right? You can see the screenshot I got here. This is him at the barrier, right? Very, very old run. And I believe that this is the first speedrun I saw. I might be wrong, but it's the first one that I remember. And I actually went back and watched a little bit of this before like we went to GDQ, just like reminisce, and it was so crazy to look back, because I remember watching this run and then going and watching some other GDQ runs and being like, damn, I would love to be up there one day. Foreshadowing? Maybe. So I saw this run, and then a couple of years later I bought Mario Odyssey, and I played through it casually, and then I finished playing it, and I was like, damn, that was a really fun game. What do I do next? I want to play it more, but I've already 100%ed it. So I found some YouTubers, you know, as one does, a little bit of small and, you know, a little bit of Fearsome Fire, who speedran Mario Odyssey. And I was like, damn, that sounds really fun. So I made a Twitch account, and I did a speedrun Super Mario Odyssey. I got 143. And I was like, great, I'll stop there. I'll make a YouTube video out of it. But I was like, you know what, I'll do a few more runs. I spent a couple months. I joined a beginner tourney. I got a 109. Awesome. And I got a 105. And then I went off to uni. I was like, you know what, I'm going off to uni. I need to, like, you know, focus on my degree. Maybe that's where it stops. No, then I got a 101. Last year I got a 59, and Switch 2 comes out. I lower it again. We're going for 58 this summer, baby. I love seeing how the layout changes over time. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, the GDQ layout has come a long way. It's a lot more professional now. And somewhere along this journey, I met this man. I met this man right here. I know him as James. Most of you know him as Jambo. Very, very, very handsome, dashing young lad. All right. And we met at university. We knew of each other from online, but we realized we were going to the same uni, and we were like, let's do some Mario Odyssey speedruns together. Some 2-player speedruns. That's gonna be a fun time. He was really good at the game. He was like 3rd in the world when we met, right? So we did some runs, and we ended up getting a few world records. Just 1 or 2. There are some notable ones. Last year, we got the first ever sub 56-minute completion of this game, which James was very excited about at the time.
Oh my god! Come on! Yes!
We got a 55-58, first people in the world to do it. A couple months ago, 1 month ago when the Switch 2 came out, we used a brand new load times. Like, it might be like, and then we got ourselves the first ever sub 55-minute completion of the game. That still hasn't been done by a single other person.
Sorry.
And you know what we thought after doing all of this? You know what we thought? 2P is so cool. What a cool game mode. So much cool movement, so much cool, like, coordination. We've been practicing this for years. We did 2P once a week for 3 years straight, while we were also doing our uni degrees and, like, personal lives and stuff like that. 2P is so cool, but we'd gotten a lot of new traction. I'd made some YouTube videos, I'd, like, grown my stream a lot, but beyond that, we had kind of hit a bit of a barrier with, like, showing people 2P. We'd kind of gotten it into all of the corners of the internet that we possibly could. Not many people still knew about 2P, despite it being faster than 1P and cooler, in my opinion. The first rounds are both at 143. That's crazy. That's really crazy. Damn good PowerPoint. Thank you. So we were like, how can we show 2P to more people? And that was when the talks of GDQ started to come in. And we decided to throw our bag over the fence and apply. So we recorded a commentated run and we submitted it to GDQ and we bought 2 tickets. Now this was a huge risk because, first of all, this was all happening in the middle of our final year exams. This was earlier this year, and we wouldn't know for 2 months if we actually got in. And just to put this into context, there were 2,500 runs submitted to Sgdq 2025, and only 180 were actually chosen to be played on stage. It was a huge risk. Sure, we had the world record, but that doesn't mean anything, all right? They choose runs that are good for a stage, okay? They don't choose it because you're the fastest in the world. And our run that we submitted wasn't actually very good. We did a no reset, we missed nut clip and a few other things. We got like a mid 57. We were kind of talking over ourselves a bit. We weren't great at commentating it. We were pretty worried. And if we didn't get in, we'd already had to buy plane tickets because you can't buy plane tickets like a week before you go, right? You need to buy them in advance to save money, especially when you're flying as far as we were. So we bought our plane tickets and we bought our accommodation and we bought our event tickets. And if we didn't get in, we'd be spending a lot of money and we were going to struggle to fundraise it because we couldn't say, hey, we're going and performing a run. We'd just be like, hey guys, give us money because we're going to GDQ. We're not actually doing anything there. We're just going to like get drunk a bunch. You know, we can't really justify that. But I think you guys all know what happened. We got accepted. We were one of those lucky 180 runners to get into Sgdq 2025. Not only that, we were chosen as a bonus game, which is very important. That's going to come up later. A bonus game basically means there are 4 bonus games over the event. And basically, you start off the day and they put an incentive donation, a donation incentive to play that bonus game. In our case, it was $700,000. The day started on $540,000, and they had to raise $700,000 total by the time that our run began at 10 p.m. Right? So they had about 12 hours to raise $150,000. Otherwise, we wouldn't get to perform our run. And that was even more special to us because they choose bonus games that are hype. They choose runs for bonus games that people love. So this wasn't even anymore a case of being 1 out of 180. This was being like 4 out of 2,500, which like, this was like, I should have really worked this out. This was like a 0.16% acceptance rate, not a 7% acceptance rate like we thought. I started crying when I refreshed the website and saw you guys. I mean, when I saw that, like, I called him straight away. We were just like laughing maniacally on the phone for like 20 minutes. We were so nervous before the game list dropped. I'll give you one to get drunk at GDQ. I do appreciate that. But then the next problem came in. We just finished our exams. There was a month until we flew out and we didn't have the money. We did not have the money. So what did I do? I did the subathon Unboxed. A lot of you have very fond memories of it. I certainly do. It was an absolutely wonderful event. I was live for 21 days straight, 513 hours of uptime, 2,100 Twitch subs. And that was able to raise us enough money to pay for our flights, pay for our accommodation, which weren't fully paid for yet, and obviously like spending for like food and stuff while we were there. And you guys meant that we could actually get to GDQ. At no point until like the end of the subathon were we like really certain that like everything would fall into place, right? Every point of this journey was just like hoping that it was gonna happen and just, you know, the phrase I use a lot is we threw our bag over the fence and then found a way to get it. We absolutely did. We submitted a run with no idea how we were going to get to America. We booked plane tickets with no idea how to pay for them. But it all worked out in the end. Stop redeeming the shades! Oh my gosh, you guys are so annoying. Sorry. I'll unpause that later. And I will get them. So, take 2. 3rd of July, 2025. When I and James set off for GDQ. Now, this presentation is going to be split into a few sections. I think there's 5 or 6 kind of chapters. That was like the prologue, you know. This is chapter 1, this is travel. And oh boy, a lot of it. And this is where we're going to see those Snapchat stories. Remember I said I took a Snapchat story through the whole run, downloaded everything. So most of the pictures you're going to see are going to be like the portrait, like Snapchat ones with the captions, just to give some context for why everything is formatted the way it is. But we left on the 3rd of July, and the way the flights worked out, we were flying from London instead of from our local airports just because it was a bit cheaper. I wouldn't do that again. I kind of regret doing that. It added a lot more stress than needed. We thought that we'd be a lot more financially tight because I didn't think the subathon would go so well. But that's, you know, aside from that, the trip to London was pretty fun. So here we are, Thursday, 3rd of July. I got some trains down to London. Very busy, but I did manage to find a seat. I started reading this book, Project Hail Mary. Incredible book. This book is going to pop up a lot over this PowerPoint. It's so good. It's by the guy who wrote The Martian. I'm not going to spoil you at all. There's a movie coming out. Don't watch the trailer if you haven't read the book. The trailer is very spoilery. Don't watch it. Don't watch it. All right. I'm looking at you. I know you're thinking of watching it. Don't watch it. Read the book first. Okay. Insane book. I went with like, I'd read like 100 pages or so. By the time that I got to America, I'd read like 350 or something. I read so much of that book, and then I read more while we were there, and then more on the flight back. I'm like almost finished it now. I've got like a couple chapters left. Now that we're between chapters, is a good time to read a few donations. Yeah, my stream isn't quite as lucrative as the GDQ one, JD Puppy, but I do try. Shout out to Ray. We actually went the night before our flight to London and we stayed with Ray for the night. He cooked us this amazing barbecue, so much food. He bought like wine and ciders and stuff. Like, he was such a great host. We had a really lovely evening. I forgot to take any pictures, so sorry, Ray, but shout outs to Ray. Ray was an absolute legend for hosting us that night. And then the next morning we were off to Heathrow Airport. We got the tube. I love the tube. I think the tube is great. And here we were in Heathrow Airport, me, you know, goggling over travelators. I love a good travelator. You just feel like you feel so fast. You know that feeling walking down travelator, the wind is like blowing in your face. It's great. I love travelators. And while we were at the airport, we actually set a mission for ourselves, right? We had a little game. We were like, let's find the most expensive thing we can find at the airport. Yo, Cheese Jay, thanks for the 100 bits.
Hey, long time watcher, first time donator. Incentive goes to runner's choice. GL on the run.
Thank you for the 100 bits, Tuesday. Let's make sure we hit the runner's choice incentive, guys, which is I am happy. That's the only incentive right now for donations. So we tried to find the most expensive thing that we could in the duty-free section of the airport to try and kill some time. We started out, I accidentally covered the price with the caption here because I'm silly, but this was the first thing I found. It was a bottle of whiskey for £200, okay? I'm gonna tell you that wasn't the most expensive thing we found. We then found, oh no, the animation broke. I did them the wrong way around. Whatever. We found a bottle of wine for £500. Then we found another bottle of whiskey for £2,400, and then a bottle of whiskey for 31,000. 31. That was the most expensive thing we found in the airport. 31,000 pounds. Yeah, I accidentally did the animations wrong there. I do apologize. But in the airport, it was like 10 a.m. Had a pint, had some lovely English breakfast with this tiny knife. Definitely the earliest pint I've ever had. I really don't think there's much of a competition for that. It was about 10 o'clock in the morning, but I'll tell you what, it was great.
Cheer train going
I said to James,
let's go, Zach. Best of luck on the run.
Hell yeah, JD Puppy.
Presentation.
Hell yeah, I appreciate it. Let's get that cheer train. Woohoo, yeah. Oh man, I'm not cut out for this hosting stuff. This is definitely your forte, not mine. I said to James, airports are timeless. You can drink anytime you want. People sleep at random times, you know, like people are there at 11 a.m. They've been awake for 30 hours. They're there at 2 p.m. They just woke up. Airports, they don't have any sense of time. It's perfectly acceptable to have a pint. You could buy a car. You could buy like a fancy brand new car for that one bottle of whiskey. That's true. Imagine what kind of guy buys a $30,000 bottle of whiskey at the airport. I know. Like, if you have that much money to spend, surely you're like flying private, right? Or at least in like first class. Like, you're not sitting in the economy class lounge at the duty-free store. And yeah, we got to the gate. Everybody there was American. This was the last time we'd hear a British accent for the entire week. It was rough. It was rough. But then here we are, we're on the plane. You can see the beautiful British countryside. Here's a picture I posted on Blue Sky saying, hey, come say hi to us at GDQ. James slept for most of the flight. That's going to be a recurring theme through this whole trip. James did a lot of sleeping. He's a very sleepy king. I don't think he knows that I took that picture of him, so sorry, James, if this is the first time you're seeing that. And we got some good, honestly, food was great. We had this like chicken curry. It was like a Thai curry, really good. And this salad, I don't know what they put in this salad, but this salad was so good. This salad was so damn good. loads of free wine. I had like 3 cups, and they give you big cups. That's like more than a wine glass worth, right? Cop the free alcohol. They didn't ID me. They did ID me on the plane back, and they asked if I was 21. But I was like, we were flying from the UK on an American airline. Did I need to be 18 or 21? I don't know. Played some Mario Kart, and most of all, I read for like 6 hours on this flight. Again, when I before I came on this journey, I was like this far through the book. Have we got ads? I can wait for ads. But yeah, I got ID'd on the way back, and they asked if I was 21. So I think that is actually how it is. He's definitely awake for the wine. I think the wine was what put him to sleep. Was that the food, James, where like you ate like a few bites and then fell asleep and then woke up and ate a few more bites and then fell asleep? I think that was that. and the like, okay, this is something really interesting about like American servers. Is that they're so pushy. That was a flight back. Oh, I see. They're so pushy. They came over like maybe 10 minutes after they'd served the food, and I had finished my meal and they took my tray away, and James is still eating, and then they lean over to him and they're like, "Are you all done with that?" As he's like clearly still eating his food. And he's like, "What? No, I've still got half of it left. I'm holding the fork in my hand." And they kept doing that at restaurants, like constantly coming over like, "Are you all finished? Can I wrap that up for you?" Like constantly. That, oh my gosh, like they won't let you enjoy your food. It's crazy. It's so weird. I guess they just care more about like, in restaurants it makes sense, they want to get like tables in and out. Like on an airplane, who cares, man? That's why I couldn't be a server. Yeah, but in England, no one cares. In England, they won't come round, and you have to like flag them down. Like that, there's more of a problem in England that they just forget that you're sitting at the table. You know, it's like the opposite problem. Remember that one flight attendant? I know. And then there was a flight attendant who spilt a bunch of red wine in someone's curry. And then he came and I asked for red wine. He made a joke. He's like, "Do you want that in a cup or down your shirt?" And I was like, "Could you put it in my curry, actually?" And he laughed. That was a good joke. I made a good joke there. LR is an interesting thing. There's a lot of discussions of what happens if someone breaks the laws in airplanes, who has jurisdiction, whether it's a country they're above the destination country, the origin country. Yeah, it sounds complicated. I would imagine it's like the airline's country. Like it's a Delta flight, so they follow American laws, you know? If it was KLM, they'd follow Dutch laws, whatever. You should enter a fast walking. Okay, I'll slow down a bit. Sorry, I will slow down. All right, I think everyone's back from ads, so we will continue with the presentation. And then we arrived in America. First thing I saw when I got to the gate or got to customs was a gun. Literally, first thing I noticed, we got off the plane, walking to customs, just someone with a gun, like a TSA agent or something, but one of the first times I've seen a gun in my life. I think I've seen guns like twice before, and that was like in central London. There were some like armed officers walking around with some like assault rifles, which in the UK I feel quite safe with, you know, English police officers carrying guns. I feel quite comfy around them. This was a different thing. I wasn't sure how to feel about that. I just tried not to think about it. Every time I saw a TS agent, I tried not to think about how they had a lethal weapon attached to their belt. I just didn't think about it too hard. We got the metro from the airport to Minneapolis. It was $2 for a ride on the metro. Really good price. Really good price. Like cheaper than English public transport, which surprised me because I thought that American public transport was just like known to be awful. And then we arrived in Minneapolis. Really cool city, very grand, very like modern and clean. I did like it. You know, everything felt very kind of new and up to date. And then that evening, we went to this place called the Brits Pub. First meal in America, and we were like, yeah, let's get a taste of home. Honestly, so glad we did. I think for the first night there, it was great to just feel kind of comfy, settle into it, you know, go somewhere a bit more traditional. Brits Pub, it's right next to the venue. Highly recommend it. The food is just objectively really good, but it's also good British food. It's like kind of Americanized, you know, as you'd expect, but more or less, it's pretty good British food. I mean, they had Newcastle Brown Ale, for crying out loud, which is a drink from Newcastle, the city that I was born in. That I don't even find like 20 miles down south in England, right? I only ever see Newcastle Brown Ale in Newcastle in England, and they had it in Minneapolis. It was crazy. I was so happy. Got this crazy burger with chips, and they called it chips on the menu. I wish I could have gone. I know, and we went the day that you left as well, Della. The 2 times we went were the 2 days that you weren't there. the only 2 evening meals we had without you. Yeah. No, it was a really nice pub. They had like Guinness and stuff too, and like lots of like Union Jacks everywhere and stuff like that. I mean, there's like an English flag hanging outside. The Union Jacks were all back to front, but you take what you can get, you know. A lot of British people put their Union Jacks up the wrong way around. So, you went again? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, those were good chips. They were really good chips, and a good burger too. It had like a tomato chutney on it or something. But this does bring me to our next section. America is weird. Why are you like this? Before we go on with our scheduled broadcast, I want to take a second to... Intercity railship within cities can be pretty solid. Yeah, that's the kind of vibe I got. The comment on y'all's accents. The waitress was really nice at Brit's Pub. She helped me through one of the things I'm about to complain about now. But I just want to take a quick second just to complain. No more complaining about America after this, okay? No more complaining about America after this. But I need to cover these bases first. Okay, here's a few things. Number 1, the city. I said it was really modern and clean and nice, but I cannot get behind the grid system. But I also kind of can. The grid system being like... when you're like in the city, every single road is in like squares and blocks everywhere. It's like so, it has no, it's hideous. I think it's absolutely hideous. There's just no character. It is very easy to navigate, I will say that. You can be like, I want to go to this restaurant, and you can just look at like how many streets away it is, and then you can put your phone in your pocket for the whole walk, because as long as you remember that you need to take 2 lefts and 3 rights, you can take them at any junction, and you'll get to the place you're trying to go, you know? You just like walk down the road. If there's a light, if there's like a crossing that's like you're able to walk across, like you can just walk across it, or you can wait for the next one if you have to wait. So it's really easy to navigate in that way, but there's like no personality to them. Everywhere looks the same, everywhere feels the same. It's like a lot easier to get lost in because just everything looks the same. Like I said, it's more about landmarks and stuff. And like, it just makes me sad to be there. It's like, it's just not fun, you know? Second thing, restaurant billing. You guys are so weird, okay? I cannot get behind this, okay? This is probably my biggest gripe with America. And this was something which, luckily, we got the sweetest, loveliest waitress that first night in Brit's Pub, who obviously knew that we were British, and like talked me through this. She was really nice. But so if you don't live in America, I'm gonna describe this for you, and you're gonna be, your mind is gonna be blown. They bring you the bill, right? And then the bill comes in like a leather like wallet or on like a tray or something that has somewhere to put your card, okay? And then you take out your credit card, you put it on the tray or in the wallet, and then they take it away. They take your card over to the till while you're still sitting at the table, and they swipe your card. Like, I got a notification on my phone that the money went through. They swipe it for you because they don't do PIN codes. They don't do pins in the US. You like swipe cards at card machines, you don't just type in a pin. So they can just do that. They swipe your card, and then they bring you the bill back with your card and a pen. And it's now a new bill, and there are 2 copies of it. There's a merchant copy and a customer copy. And then on the merchant copy, you write down the tip that you want to give manually with the pen on the piece of paper. You write down the tip. You have to add it to the total and like do all that maths in your head and write the new total. And then you take the customer copy home with you and write the same thing on it. And then you just walk out the restaurant, and then they charge you again for the tip. It's mind-blowing. Over here, for Americans who are confused why I'm complaining about this, like, they'll bring you the bill, and they'll say, how do you want to pay? And you say card, and they'll bring you the card reader, and they give you the card reader, and you write in, you put like 10% tip, and then scan your card, and then it's done, right? They don't take your card away. You don't have to like pay for it, and then like write your tip with a pen, and then they charge you again like 3 hours after you leave. It's so weird. So weird. But we move on. The toilets are weird here, or in America. But first of all, why are the cubicle doors like that? There are like 1-foot gaps on like the bottom and the top and the sides, and everyone can just see you sitting on the toilet. It's awful. Why? Why? Not like that in Europe. Not at all. They're always like mostly ceiling to door, maybe like a 1-inch gap at most. And the water is like really high. The water goes like all the way up to the top of the toilet bowl. So like when you do your business, it all just like floats around in there. But like English and European toilets, there's only like maybe that much water in the bottom, and then just more water comes in to flush it out. It's like the opposite way around. It's like in America, it's full to start with, and then it all drains out. But in England, it's empty to start with, and then it drains in to wash it through. They're really weird. Like, when I first went to toilet, I was like, is it blocked? And I was like, am I going to have to, like, unblock the toilet? But they're just all like that. You can see over the stalls. But yeah, exactly. It's so weird. It's so weird. So restaurants give you a bell, and then you walk it to till. Yeah, we didn't go into like that. It's one charge, but 2 different exchanges. It's very strange, JD Puppy. It's very strange. Alcohol. You have to be 21, first of all, but they're also really strict with it. No supermarkets sell alcohol. There was one of the first evenings, they were like, we need to go to the liquor store and get some alcohol. And I was like, oh, we can just have a walk to Target. It's 5 minutes away. It closes in an hour. And they were like, what? CJ looked at me like I was dumb. I was like, go to Target and get some beers or whatever. And everyone had to be like, no, you can't do, they don't do that. You have to go to a liquor store, right? And apparently nowhere is allowed to serve alcohol past 2 a.m., like even clubs. And all the like liquor stores close like super early, especially on Sundays. And they're like really strict with IDs, really, really tight with IDs. They like, you have to be, when we were at the liquor store, they had badges on their uniforms that said under 50, bring ID. Under 50? It's 25 here. You have to be under 25 to, like, you have to bring ID if you're under 25. 50? And, like, I got ID'd every single place bought alcohol. In the UK, it's maybe, like, 1 in 3. Like, I say 2 out of 3 times, maybe 3 out of 4 times I don't get ID'd. Target doesn't sell hard liquor, but they do like beers and stuff. That, I guess that makes sense. The liquor store was a magical place. It was like, imagine Costco, but everything is alcohol, and there is every type of alcohol you could possibly ever want or imagine. Liquor stores are magical. We need more liquor stores. But other than that, really strange. 50 is nuts. 50 is nuts. Maybe it was just Minnesota or this one particular like branch or like chain of liquor stores, but it was really weird. The food. Oh my goodness. The food. I was worried about the food, and it was exactly what I thought. It was all really, really good. Some of the best food I've ever eaten, but every single meal, without failure, I felt ill afterwards for like an hour. Every single one. I felt like sick and nauseous for like an hour, sometimes like 2 hours after the meal. No exceptions. Really bad. And the portion sizes, I mean, you can see this one I put here. Like, this is like, oops. Ah! Spoilers. This is like 3 people's worth of food over here, right? It's crazy. There's Goody sometimes in their 60s. Insane. No, I mean, it makes sense if the age is 21, because I do look, you know, I definitely look over 18, but I probably look like younger than 21 or around 21. Ignore that, Wolfie boy. The roads are very wide and empty and like concrete and gray. I think it's really boring and ugly. All of the cars are huge. Every single car is an SUV or a truck. There are no like small cars, and they're all like really modern as well. Maybe that's just being in like a, you know, in downtown Minneapolis, it's quite a rich area. But like we saw like only like nice, like, you know, no more than like 5-year-old cars. And again, they're all huge. Every single car is huge, or it's like a Mercedes or something, right? Really strange. Ground floor. They don't do a ground floor. Well, they do a ground floor. No, ground floor is floor 1 in buildings. You go into the lift and it just says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or it says like lobby 2, 3, 4, 5. That's weird. Where's the ground floor? It's usually ground 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then there's probably more, but I wrote this at 2 a.m. and I thought I already had enough. So yeah, I put a picture of a fire hydrant here because I thought that was exciting. You're in a nice less than 5-year-old car? I'd expect that from Mr. YouTuber Man, to be fair. We only saw one Cybertruck on the last day. We saw one Cybertruck, and I pointed and I laughed. There are places of ground. People did say that, but for the most part, or like, you know, at most 50-50, they don't have ground floors. Whereas like in Europe, every single building is ground 1, 2, 3. Every single one. However, I don't say all of this to, you know, shit on America. Because America was very special in 2 ways. I would like now to define with you guys the 2 sacred relics of America, okay? There are 2 very, very special parts about America that I think all people on Earth should be able to experience for themselves every single day. 2 things that stood out to me the most that changed my life. The first sacred relic of America is air conditioning. Air conditioning. Chat. Wow. The novelty never wore off. Even the last day, when it was like 30 degrees outside, and then you walk into a building and it's just cool and dry. I love you, air conditioning. And I'm already struggling back home. I mean, it was like 30 degrees-ish the whole week while we were there. And I like never really got too warm unless we were walking for more than 10 minutes. When I got back to England, it's been like 22, 23 degrees, and I'm always too warm in my room because it's like warm in my room. Aircon's great. The second sacred relic of America will be revealed later. We're going to talk about the Airbnb. We're going to talk about the Airbnb because, for those of you who don't know, we didn't actually stay on site at the hotel because it was expensive, and like we'd have to get like a room each, which was even more expensive, and they like weren't very spacious. So we decided to stay in an Airbnb off-site, and it was the best decision we ever made. First of all, it costs the same to rent out the Airbnb for 5 people for a week than it would have to for one room in the hotel. It was the same price for 5 people versus 1 person for a whole week. Thank you, JD Puppy. How do people live without it? Because it doesn't really get that warm, GTAs. It only gets over like 85 degrees, maybe like 7 days a year here. GTAs, 7-10 days a year. So it's like mostly fine, but it can be hard. I know Second Relic, you probably do. If you were with me that week, you know Second Relic, but don't spoil. So yeah, we got this Airbnb, really nice. Here's a few pictures. We had this living room area. This folded out into a sofa bed, which you can see in this bottom one here. So that's where James slept. We had this room here, which was my room. And then straight across from it, we had this room, which was CJ and Della's. So yeah, we had 2 like big bedrooms with ensuite bathrooms, this big living room. We had a whole kitchen with like a breakfast bar. It was absolutely lovely. And yeah, the 5th person we had staying with us was Sawalso, who was only with us for 4 or 5 nights. CJ and Dal just brought a like air mattress for him to sleep on while he was here. But yeah, it was great. And we also held like a few get-togethers here. It worked really well. Our Airbnb also had a gym, which James and I were going to use. We never did. CJ used it a few times. We just never got around to it. And it had a pool with a hot tub, which we did use on one day. And then I think the creme de la creme of this Airbnb is the freaking rooftop lounge. This place was gorgeous. I think I used this 3 times. It had like barbecues on and like seats, and you could see out over Minneapolis, and it was on like the 7th story. So we had the first afternoon that they were there, we like went to the pool, went in the jacuzzi, and then like we sat outside for like half an hour in the sunshine, just like chatting. And then I also went out here. There was one morning where I woke up like an hour early before everyone else. I went and I read Project Hail Mary. Please go read Project Hail Mary. It's a very good book. So I went outside and I read for like an hour by myself, got some alone time. That was really nice. Oh, it was gorgeous. It was gorgeous. And I actually forgot to put a picture, but this Airbnb was literally 1 minute from the hotel. I forgot to put the picture, I'm realizing now, which I'm annoyed about. But like my bedroom window, I could see into Philly's hotel room, and we like waved at each other through our windows. Like that's how close we were. Really, really close to the hotel. So I very much recommend trying to get an Airbnb if you go to GDQ. Save yourself the money, give yourself the extra space.
Insane
You're not really
views,
going to
gang.
miss out on much. I love a rooftop terrace. Hell yeah. How's barbecues? Yeah, they had like a free barbecue night the night that we did our run. We didn't go because we had to do our run, but like they do like events there too, and you can like book. There's like event rooms that you can book out. It's great. And the other thing, this isn't the Airbnb, but near the venue, there was this like fountain area, which I just wanted to point out because it was really nice. And like it's like kind of shallow-ish water, which you can just wade through with your feet if you're too warm, and they have like water features and stuff. And then like during the night it's off, but like I came and sat and watched the sunrise here like after Sawalso went home one night by myself. And yeah, I went here a couple times. This is like a very special spot for me. I really enjoyed it here. I had this video of a kid. I accidentally got this video of a kid doing like an epic somersault. I was quite impressed with that. I can't do that. So yeah, really nice little spot there. Oh, I did have the picture. Oh, I didn't think I put this in. Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, this was the view out of my bedroom, and this Hilton here, that's the GDQ venue, right? So like there's the entrance. We were just down here, and I think Philly's room is this one or something, or this one. So yeah, it was great. Do they have bottled waters? They only drink bottled water, some of them, in the States. People are scared of tap water over there. I don't know why. LK, thank you for the 23-month resub. I appreciate it. 1 month off of 2 years. That's crazy. Enjoy Summer James Green for the next month. Thank you so much, LK. Thank you so much. But that is enough about our venue where we were staying. Because I think we should talk about the other venue, the GDQ venue. I'm sorry I messed up all of these animations. I didn't realize that the subtitles weren't animated. The tap water's kind of dirty. I looked it up and it's fine in Minneapolis, and I drank it all week and I was fine. But like everyone else was using bottled water, and it's like, all the plastic bottles. Oh no, that's what I forgot about. That's what I remember what I forgot about on this slide. That's what I was gonna put that. The waste is so bad in America. Like so much waste. They don't have recycling bins anywhere, and like everything is plastic, and everything is wrapped in plastic and has excess plastic, and like there's nowhere to recycle. It's so bad, dude. It's so bad. Anyway, okay, that was the thing that I forgot. I knew I was forgetting something. That was the thing I was forgetting. But yeah. Let's talk about the GDQ venue. So on the first day that we got there, we had a little romp around. Like before everything was set up. Here is Jambo standing outside the showroom. This was actually the only picture I got of this room. This room is like massive, and this is where the whole artist alley was, which I'll talk about in a bit. And like through that door there, I don't know if you can see my mouse, is the showroom. That's the only picture I got of that room, which is annoying because it's like a really nice like room. But I had this epic picture of James standing there like an absolute madman. Yeah, I heard that vibe with the recycling. It's so terrible. It's so terrible. And then the next morning, I picked up my badge. I'm going to show you it now because I really like it. It's Rollsy from Deltarune, my little runner badge. It's so cool. And I've got a little thing from Artist Alley on. And I also really, really like this lanyard. It's got like, you can't really see it in my lighting. It's got like this blue to pink gradient. It's got like characters on, I guess. I don't know. Really nice badge. I'm going to treasure this. And the attendee badges are nice too. The attendee badges were white, and like these runner badges are like kind of black, so like we stood out like a sore thumb. I felt so cool walking around the venue with this on, you know. When people were like, hey, can I see your badge, you know, like to make sure we were meant to be there, and I was just like, yes, you can. And then they'd like be like, oh my, I'm so sorry, and they'd grovel at my feet because I was a runner, you know. It felt great. We also got free runner t-shirts. Really nice t-shirt. It's they have this like fantasy map of the like GDQ venue. It's really cool. It's the same as the attendee t-shirts, but the runner ones are blue instead of runner on the back, and we got them for free, so I'll take it. I'll take it. You love groveling. I love being groveled at. I'm gonna move on. And then this was the showroom. You should be a t-shirt model, maybe. This was the showroom. This room was crazy. So we got here on the Friday night and they were still setting up, and we just had a peek into the showroom, and we probably shouldn't have done this because this freaked us out. It is so big. We did not expect it to be this big. It is huge. It doesn't really come across on camera. It would take like 30 seconds or more to walk from one side of this room to the other. It is huge. We counted, there were over 1,000 chairs. There was like 1,100 chairs in here. It made us so excited, but also so nervous for our run because we thought it would be like half that size or less. It was crazy. But it did mean that it was a really nice place to be because it's so big, you can kind of sit there and just talk amongst yourselves while runs are going on because all the runs are wearing headphones. It's like quite noisy with all the echoes from the speakers. So every time we watched a run, we just kind of sat around, chilled, like chatted with each other. We were like in and out of our seats, you know, went to go get coffee, go to the loo. Like it was just a really nice vibe being in there. Like people would come in and you'd meet them and like have a quick chat, get a photo, whatever. It was just a great place to be. This was the opening ceremony. I don't know why these are so quiet. It's not very helpful. But yeah, this was us watching the opening ceremony for the event. As you can see, it was like pretty full, and it did get pretty full at some times, especially our run. You know, we'll get to that in a little while. And then this was the first run we watched. We watched, I think, 6 runs in the end. We were hoping to see a couple more, but I know a lot of people who go like don't even watch any runs while they're there. So I think we did pretty well. The first run we watched was Sekiro by our friend Mitras, and then Chris and Parky and Little Aggie were commentating. Acknowledge combo. Oh, what did combo say? You missed my sub? Oh, I did. Oh, I'm so sorry, man. I didn't see your sub. Thank you so much for the 32-month resub combo. I appreciate it. Enjoy sub edging and for the next month. I'm so sorry I missed that. I must have been at a very passionate point in the presentation. And my alerts are really quiet in my ears today for some reason. I need to find a way to turn that up. I'm so sorry, man, but I do appreciate it. That's a very long time to be subbed. Thank you for calling me. Yeah, feel free to call me out, chat, if I'm being an asshole. So yeah, the first one we saw was Sekiro. That was great. There's a clip right at the beginning after Chris introduced himself. CJ shouts at the top of his lungs, "Yeah, Chris!" Like so loud. It like slightly comes through on stream, but we all went bright red. We were so embarrassed to be sitting next to him when he did that. And then I think somewhere... Ooh, stop that. Here are all the runs we watched. I didn't get pictures of them all. We saw Link's Awakening DX, which was really, really good. On Tuesday, it was like 1 a.m. and we were all like falling asleep on the sofa watching a movie. And Dalla goes, "Hey, should we go watch the Plants vs Zombies run?" And we all kind of laugh and say, "Haha, yeah." And then we just kind of look at each other and we just go like, "Yeah, let's do it." So even though we were literally like in our pajamas and falling asleep, we went to watch this Plants vs Zombies run at 1 a.m. And then we ended up staying at the venue until 4:30 a.m. when Mitch's Get to Work run was. So we didn't go home until like 5 that night. But yeah, we watched that, we watched Get to Work, we watched Majora's Mask, and we watched Phantom Hourglass. We saw all of the Zelda runs. Those are the ones that we like beeline for. There were others I would have liked to watch, especially the end of the week, but things just got so busy it didn't end up happening. Like watching Plants vs Zombies, it was a great vibe. I like the 1 a.m. vibes. It was good. As I said, I like being in that showroom. You know, people were like coming in and just like saying hi and cracking jokes and stuff. It was great. It was so great. So yeah, I really like being in the showroom. I know, like I said, a lot of people who just go to meet friends like never really go in there or watch anything, but I think it's really worth it because it's just, you know, even if the runs aren't super interesting, it's just a great like atmosphere to be in, and it's a really nice place to chill out and a really nice like kind of communal place where you can like meet friends or whatever. It's a good place to be. I think the best part of the venue is this coming up, okay? The arcade. Chat, the arcade. The arcade was huge. It was his room, which had all of these machines, like probably like 50, 60 machines, all like new, like good condition. Insane. Open 24/7. Every machine was completely free, might I say, as long as you had your badge, you know, like it, you know, they had all the like coin slots removed off of them. We were in that every day. I don't think that was really a day we didn't go in there for at least 20 minutes. We spent hours in that arcade. It was kind of our like go-to end of the night activity. If like we were like at the venue quite late, like, and it was like 2 a.m. before we went to bed, we just go to the arcade for 20 minutes, half an hour, like have a play around before we leave. Also another great like communal place to just like meet people. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. They had this machine. Apparently, one of the workers there told us that there are only 7 of these machines in America. This was incredible. And like, I was pretty bad at it. James and CJ were demons. They had like some serious face-offs. This is the first time they played it, but like it gets super fast. You have to like bat these red things back at each other. They call it virtual air hockey or something. It's kind of like self-explanatory what's going on, but like you have to track 5 lanes at once. It's incredible. It's so good. And it's all kind of rhythm-based too. So good. Yo, Nakni with the 6-month resub. I appreciate it. Nakni, you've got a star-shaped sub badge now. Enjoy sub badge for the next month. I appreciate it. Favorite was when I was drunk AF and we were playing Bishy Bashy. That was so good. There was one night where everyone was really drunk, and we went to the arcade, and Della and I were the only people that brought our badges, and everyone else got kicked out, and we were like halfway through a game, and we just like, they were all just waiting outside, and we were just like sitting playing this like 1v1 game for like an extra like 15 minutes, taking swigs of a drink when depending on who won each round. It was such a vibe. It was so good.
The Sgdq blew the AGDQ arcade out of the water.
Really, Jay?
The Ant one had like 5 machines total.
I'm too employed for this? No such thing. No, it was so good. And then I think the star attraction of the arcade was this rhythm game. Oh my life. I actually only went on this 3 or 4 times. I genuinely could have spent like the whole week just on this rhythm game. It's so good. Again, it's pretty self-explanatory. It has these 16 tiles and like things appear on them. This is Star or Chris playing it. He was pretty good at it. And I was decent at it too. Hi, Dalla. It was so good. That machine is so good. I want one in my house. Miss what Juby was? There was 2 of them, JD. Look, okay, you see this is air hockey. There they are. You can see them, the little squares. And if you can see my mouse, those 2 little squares. Oh man, so good. So good. Go back. Do you want to see you again? There you are. You look so like intimidating. I didn't see me. There you are. The funniest part is my camera is like at my eye level here, or like a little bit below, and like I could still just see over your head with the camera when you walked in front of me. Sorry. Another great place in the venue was the music room. That was just this room that just had a bunch of instruments. It had like a Nord Stage 3, it had 2 electric guitars, a bass, an acoustic drum set, some like brass instruments, some mics, 24/7, like no supervision, just that, like just pure trust, right? We did some stand-up comedy. CJ did a stand-up comedy routine. See you later, Demon. The jam room was new, and it's great. CJ's stand-up comedy routine, and we told him to tell us some jokes that would blow our socks off, was the phrasing we used. So he looked up sock jokes on Google, and he found an article that was 101 jokes about socks. And I think I have 2 of them here. I don't think they need any context further than that. Oh, that's not it. We'll do the jokes first.
What do you call a sock that tells jokes?
What do you sock that tells jokes?
A funny sock. That's the final joke. That's the 101st joke on the list.
A funny sock, guys. That's really good, right? No. Wait for this one.
How do socks greet each other? With a totally awesome high five.
totally awesome. You get it? What a knee slapper. And then James and CJ also did a lovely rendition of Dia Docs.
I am Mario. I'm collecting stars and shit because I am Mario now. I am Mario.
It was great. Woo! Oh, sorry. And then James just like he just went off. I didn't know he was so good at piano. He just went off. He was killing it. He came in for like a minute after this. I hope you understand. It was really good. Claps in chat for James. And then the other 3 went to the arcade for a bit. And one of the guys who like set up the jam room came in and joined me and James. So it was me, James, and this other guy, and I was on guitar and James was on piano and he was on bass, and we just like jammed out, like playing some like chords for like an hour after that. It was a really nice time. It was beautiful. CJ's so good at telling jokes because he just laughs so hard before saying them. Honestly, we were in like fits of laughter at those sock jokes. They were so bad. They were so bad. Anyway. That's the music room. Great addition to GDQ. Very good addition to GDQ. Oops. There was a board game room, which was incredible. You can see all of the board games they had, which again, all free as long as you had a runner badge. You just like gave them an ID and they'll give you a board game and like tons of tables to go sit down and play board games. I think we're in here like 3 times, ? So many board games. Right before our run, we played Wavelength, which is such a good game. I have it at home, which is why I chose it. Wavelength was so fun. I love Wavelength. And then on the Friday night, we were with Lil Curbs, and we decided to play Trivial Pursuit. Terrible mistake. That game is made for like 65-year-olds. I think we knew about 3 answers collectively over the hour that we played. It was so bad. I mean, we had a good time. I was so anxious we were playing. Me too, Dala. And like, there was like the restream on the projector behind us, and I was just watching the incentive the whole time. But again, we'll get to that. No, I recommend you guys play Wavelength. There's actually a mobile version of Wavelength you can play on your phones if you don't have the actual game, which is pretty much just as good. People with schooling, yeah, well, a lot of it was like American too. It's like, who won the 1987 baseball cup? And it's like, I don't know, you know. We were on the same wavelength as Jambo. I wasn't on a team with Jambo. I was with like Philly and who was on my side? Philly, I think like Chris. I don't remember where people were sitting. James was singing was like playing guitar and I watched and almost cried. Oh yeah, that was really nice. And we did Bloom by the Paper Kites. Yeah, I like played that on guitar and James sang. Chris Philly. Oh, Kitelin. Yeah, Chris Philly, me and Kitelin. That makes sense. So yeah, board game room, great addition. And then we went there on like the final night after CJ and Della left, and we played this one which was like, it's like the trolley problem. You guys know the trolley problem, where like you draw cards and you and someone else have to like assemble one side of the track and then try and convince the conductor of the train which side to drive over, or like not to drive over your side, kind of. It was really funny, you know. Yeah, I don't know if I can explain much more than that. Are we gonna watch the entire run? Yes. No. No, it was great. It was great. Artist Alley. This was a first time at GDQ Artist Alley. I only got this one picture, which is crap. Artist Alley was huge. It was outside the showroom. There were maybe like 10 stalls full of stuff. And then halfway through the week, they swapped them out for a new 10 stalls. So good. It fit like so naturally into GDQ. I cannot believe that they've never done it before, because it genuinely felt like the most like natural part that was like meant to be there the whole time. It was so good. Congratulations to all the artists that were there. Like, I'm sure they sold an incredible amount of stuff. I'm doing a little show and tell because I didn't get any pictures. I got this little guy, a little Power Moon plush. Again, the lighting isn't really helping here. I obviously got like the key ring, the little squid one. I got this guy, Mario Odyssey Mario pixel art. It's like one of those, you know, the things where like you put the beads together and then you iron it. It's one of those. It was on like $10. It's a pretty good price. Very cool. And then I got a bunch of posters. I got, I think, 5 posters for myself and then some for other people, which I'm not going to show because spoilers. You got that? Yeah. It's cute, right? I know how to do it at AGDQ. Box is too small, you mean? So I got a few of these posters which were like, oh my gosh, everything's falling out. Which were like these like kind of 50s, like, I don't know how to explain it, but we have like Welcome to Green Path, like a Hollow Knight one. I can go full screen for this actually. We had like Welcome to Green Path, like a Hollow Knight one. Hold on. We got, this is probably my favorite one that I got. This is Leyndell Royal Capital from Elden Ring. Beautiful. What does it say? It says, yeah, visit Leyndell Royal Capital. We got oh, that one I can't show too closely, but a nice one there. We got this one from Hades, Escape from Asphodel. Beautiful Hades one. And then these other like pixel art ones, which was like this one from Portal of GLaDOS, looking very cool. And then I think my other favorite, look at this. Oh, it's beautiful. The Master Sword with the Silent Princesses. So good, man. So good. It's so beautiful. And then I also got a little like postcard with like the Hollow Knight on a stag, and it came with some stickers, a Hornet sticker and a scrub. Beautiful. And then they also had these like really cute like Japanese stalls, which I don't have anything to show you from. Dalla got like a bunch of gachas, and she actually left a bunch of stuff behind, which I do have. I could have shown you the stuff which Dalla bought and left behind by accident, but it's upstairs. I can't be asked now. Really great. I am all for Artist Alley. I think Artist Alley is like the best decision they made for GDQ. I just opened my email client instead of... No, you know what? That's great. I really want to look at my emails right now. Oh, why does it take so long to boot up? Okay, we're fine. I heart you, Artist Alley. Me too. I wish I got that one. Yeah. There's so much more, including panels in the Artist Alley. It felt like a... Yeah, it was a proper event. So much stuff. So yeah. thumbs up artists. Great job, artists. If I mean, none of them are going to be watching, but still, great job, guys. Then the other thing, which is much more like traditional GDQ, are the practice rooms. Practice rooms are huge. This is the first one. Look how many. It doesn't really come across on video. There's like 100 setups in there. It's huge. It's huge. So this is where like we did our practice streams. We did two practice streams. They were both in this room, in the public room. You can see a little setup here. I brought my laptop. I had Della's mic and Switch and capture card plugged into it. It worked pretty well. The hotel Wi-Fi was awful, so we had to stream at like 1,000 kilobits a second. So it was like super grainy, but it was pretty good. And then on the day of our run, they also had 3 private practice rooms with like 20 setups in each, which are only for runners. So we did that on the last day for a few hours, and we had like our commentators and a couple of friends like sit in there with us and like learn a bit about the run and stuff, which we needed. This is a picture that I think Dalla took sitting behind me. So wonder it's so loud. Yeah, it was insanely big. Your practice room is just the F around room. I guess. All right, we got ads, so I will wait a minute. Yeah, practice rooms are great. Only, again, like the only time we spent in there was just the 2 streams that we did. But I think it was generally a hangout spot for a lot of people. Like people just sit in there all day and like come in and out and talk to people and play some games or whatever. Sorry, Matt. Yeah, I swear. TJ and I, Matt, and lots of other people too. Jet Reset, hello, welcome in. I got ads. That's okay. So also made me fight. Really, Kaitlin? I had no idea that was going on. That's really funny. Hello, Iva Shiva, welcome in. Lost in my gacha thoughts. I know. I get it. They were nice. There was nice stuff inside. So for the sub goal. Wait, do I still have the sub goal for 2,100 subs? Let me not do that. I do have it set for that. Oopsie daisies. There you go, it's gone. How's the jet lag? It was pretty bad, but I was also ill when I got back, so it was like a double whammy. I was sleeping like 15 hours a night for a couple nights from like jet lag plus being ill. It was a bit of both. Yeah. Alright, ads are done. We will return. And then there was probably more clips I could have gotten, but I really couldn't be bothered to look through clips and practice stream. The one that I wanted to share with you all, you can probably guess. It was it was this one. This was the height comparison between me and herself, Delamy. Because a lot of people are wondering. She's known to be pretty short, I'm known to be pretty tall. So we'll settle it once and for all of you wondering, how short is Delamy / how tall is Zach in the box?
Do a live height check. Okay.
Have a watch.
Yeah, go on. That's crazy. That is crazy.
That's like my 10th most viewed clip on Twitch out of nowhere. It's got like 200 views or something.
Yeah.
I think this was the first time that she'd seen us standing next to each other, because like from not her POV, because you can see her like looking at the screen here and just like being like so shocked that it's that bad.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. It's so crazy. You look like a giant. When I have some photos with other people like at the end of the PowerPoint, and like you will see I am just a giant. Dara says she's very tall, so I'm getting mixed messages. I'm 8 feet tall, Sammy. She is like 6'3", it's true. I want a Della POV photo. Yeah. Final come clean. Oh, we're getting the confession. I'm 6'7". Okay, buddy. All right, buddy. Okay. Is there a Delamy command yet? You know what? Actually, I don't have the link for that clip. If anyone get the link for that clip, that we should definitely make that into a command. I think that'd be really funny. Anyway, but that's basically everything that's under venue. That actually took a while to get through. The venue was awesome. We spent most of our time in the GDQ venue and all the various rooms and stuff. Very much worth it. Apparently the SGDQ venue is way better than the AGDQ one, and apparently the SGDQ venue this year was like much more stacked out than any other year. So I think this was like the best year to go for a first GDQ. It was incredible. You can't get better than that. The next section that we're starting, for some reason my subtitles aren't working again, is food. I look so pale. I am quite tan, that's true. Compared to you, at least. We ate a lot of it. So I'm gonna go through and show you every single meal that we had, because this was, I think, like, it seems a bit redundant, but I think this is like one of the main like things that we did, you know, is like going out to eat. We went out to eat every single night. We thought we were gonna like cook at home. We didn't a single time. The closest we got is we got an Indian takeaway one night, which isn't on there. But yeah, the food was like a really big part, and it was a lot of fun each day. We tried to go to like loads of different restaurants and different cuisines, try different things, different like American things. I made ramen. That's true. Della made ramen as like a snack a few times. That was good. That was good. Yeah, but that wasn't our dinner. Like that was like a few hours after dinner. It's like a second or a third meal, I guess, you know, second meal for you because you never had breakfast. Woman erasure is crazy. That's crazy. Drunken snack? Yeah. He hates women's... Dinoco! You're my sister. You can't say that. Stop. Anyway, starting out, Brits Pub. Like I said earlier, we went to Brits Pub twice. First time, got burger and chips. Second time, I got this mango chicken salad. This was the first night and the final night. The first meal we had was at Brits Pub, and the very final one was too. Very full circle, very cute, very poetic. And also it's very poetic because the first one was just James and I. The final one, we went with a bunch of GDQ staff. We had... Oh, what was their name? The person sitting next to me who's a GDQ staff member who's like so lovely. Had such a nice time talking to them. And then like Spike, Jadelin, I'm not sure who he was. I didn't talk to him. That's Delilah on the end. And then Philly. And then who was it sitting next to James? Oh, it was Asher and then James and then me. So yeah, really nice 2 meals there. Had a really nice time, and I got the salad on last night because I just felt so ill, and I actually felt okay. That's a stacked dinner lineup. It was a pretty good lineup, yeah. If we had like CJ and Dalla, who are obviously gone, and then maybe like ADF, I think that would have been like perfect. Mwah, you know. And you, of course, JD. We didn't get to go out for dinner with you. It's really sad. And then Caribou Coffee. Another one very close to venue, directly next door to Brits Pub, like 3-minute walk from the venue. We went here most mornings. Really nice coffee place. The first morning we went there, I got this like energy drink, they called it, which is just like a caffeinated soft drink. It's so sweet. So much sugar. I was like jittering off the sugar, not the caffeine. I did not get another one of those. I mean, it was yummy, but way too sweet. Even like, I got like an iced mocha a couple times, and they had so much sugar in. Oh, I just, you know, they also had a coffee machine, the Airbnb, which I used a couple times, just have like a good black coffee, because I was craving it. No, In-N-Out is like only a Californian thing. This presentation, okay, please go put on pants, Viper. That, oh my gosh. I mean, like, I appreciate that you're... I'm not going to say that. I haven't had Caribou in so long since I moved west. Where is Caribou? Because there were like so many in Minnesota. We saw like at least 5 or 6. There were like 2 alone just in the mall. So we're trying In-N-Out. Okay, well, there's a good chance I'm in California later this year, so I will try In-N-Out if that does come to fruition. Yes, do it. Do it, Della. Exclamation mark Della or something. Or height. No, that's already a command. There you go, perfect. The first night that CJ and Dalla got here, because they were there the first night, went to Buffalo Wild Wings. Really good. I got mango habanero and blue cheese were the 2 sauces I got. The mango habanero was so spicy. There were like 15 like or 20 sauce flavors, and it was like 5th from the top on like spiciness ranking, so I thought it would be okay. And CJ got wild, which was 2nd from the top, but we traded a wing. His wild one was way less spicy than mine, and he agreed. He was like, wow, the mango habanero is really hot. So I had like a hard time getting through these, but Sgdq. This is green Sgdq. 5 out of 5 64 world record holder. You may know him. This guy, Jack, ordered the spicy wing challenge, which is 10 spicy, like 10 of the spiciest wings. If you eat them in less than like 20 minutes or half an hour or something, then you get it for free and you get like a t-shirt. He got 2 wings in, gave up and ordered ice cream and like was like whining about it for the rest of the night. So Suiji swapped seats with him, sat down and finished the other 8 wings. This man, I want to give context to this. Suiji hadn't eaten in... No, not eaten. He hadn't slept in maybe like 25, 30 hours. He was delirious. We met him at the hotel. He kind of like shook hands, asked who we were, which I thought was really funny because once he told him, he was like, oh my gosh, I knew that. He was like, wait, who are you? Oh, wait, yeah, the Odyssey ones. And then like went up to his room to nap and came out for Buffalo Wild Wings. And in his like sleep-deprived, delirious, hallucinogenic state, he just, without saying a single word for the entire time, just ate these 8 like ultra spicy wings. Just the whole thing, and then finished it, and then ran to the bathroom, and we never saw him again. He was in there for like 20 minutes, and like we left. He was freaking tanked it. He was crazy. I don't know how he did it. He's just, I mean, he's very determined at 64, but he's obviously very determined at spicy wings too. Give him any kind of challenge. Next night, Buca di Beppo on Sunday night, which is like an Italian place. We sat down and I opened the menu. CJ chosen it, and I opened the menu and every dish was like $35. And I looked up and I was like, CJ, why do you pick such an expensive restaurant? And I thought, it's just like YouTuber brain. He just like doesn't know. Like, we'll just find somewhere else to eat, whatever. And we were all like staring at the menu like, why is every dish like $30, $40? And then we realized that it was family style. And you're only meant to order like 2 dishes for the table of 5 because each dish had a bunch of portions. And you just put it in the middle of the table with like a big serving spoon and you just serve it onto your plate. So we did that. It was very lovely. There's a very funny story though. I said Beppo. I said Beppo. I said b. I said it. Has Suiji been seen again since then? I actually didn't really see him for the rest of the week. Like, genuinely, I maybe saw him one time on, like, the second last day after that. The warning's looking so jumpable. Very Odyssey coded, right? Bleppo. Oh, did I spell it wrong? Oh. Anyway. Yeah, the portion sizes are crazy, Jet Reset. I talked about it earlier, but, like, they were so huge, and I felt so ill after every meal. Every single one I felt really, like, nauseous after. But, so Buca di Beppo, the waitress comes around. You're just typing things? Okay. The waitress comes around and she goes like, hey y'all, is you guys here for any special occasion? And Della, honestly, I hate her so much, but it was really impressive that she did not break character. She just deadpan, just like looks at her and just goes, oh, it's his birthday, and points at me. Like, a split second to process what she'd said and decide that she was gonna do that, and just like, oh my gosh, just so deadpan. I was really anxious for some reason this night. Like, I was like, I don't know what it was. I guess it was like, you know, one of the first days of the event, we'd met loads of people, like the run was coming up. I was like just not having a great time anyway. And that kicked something off within me, and I just like buried my face in my hands because it wasn't my birthday and I couldn't be bothered to argue that it wasn't. So I was like really embarrassed, but the waitress thought I was embarrassed because Della had called out the fact that it was my birthday. She did not confirm the fact that it wasn't my birthday. So then she's like, oh, don't worry, like, you know, we do like a little song about it, but like we don't have to if you don't want to. She's like, it's up to you. And then someone's on the table was like, oh, let's take a vote. So they took a vote for if they should sing me happy birthday. Of course everyone said yes, apart from Sir Walso. He voted no, but he said he only voted no because he knew that everyone else would vote yes, and he just wanted me to feel not totally alone. So the whole damn meal, I was like dreading it. I was like, oh, I so cannot be bothered with this. And then we finish the meal, they take away the plates, and then they come over with this like, it was like a candlestick with 3 like stick candles. It was really weird, and they just put it on the table, and then they sing like the craziest happy birthday song I've ever heard in my life. It was like 180 BPM, and I've never heard it before. I guess some like Italian thing. And they like sang that, like all of the waiters at the restaurant and like cheered, and everyone was watching. But then they gave me a free scoop of chocolate ice cream with sprinkles, so it worked out in the end. I got free ice cream. The next day we went to Top Golf, which we'll talk more about a bit later. 180, it was a hyperbole. Top Golf, honestly probably the best food that I had there, just like quality wise. I got some beef tacos, which were, or like pork tacos or something, I think they're beef, which were so like juicy and good. And then we got these donut holes on Philly's suggestion, which are like round donut balls covered in cinnamon sugar. And then they have these syringes. There was one with custard, one with jam, and one with like chocolate sauce. And you stick the syringe in the donut hole and fill it up, and then eat it. And it's wonderful. I could only have a couple because again, I was like quite anxious, and they were very sweet, but they were great. That was a good experience. And then like we ended up just squirting the syringes into our mouths by the end. We didn't do Angry Birds. We'll get to Topgolf a bit later. Do that, Zach, for every birthday from now on, yeah. Icy Core, welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, shut up, Karis. It has been about an hour since we started the presentation, to be fair. We had Chipotle. Lovely, love Chipotle. I could go back there all the time. Very good. We had Red Rabbit, which is like another Italian restaurant, really nice, got a bottle of wine for table. Before our run, we had a meal at the restaurant, really good burger. I had 4 burgers while I was there. All of them were just really good quality. I was expecting American burgers to be like sloppy, fat, like greasy, like make you feel ill, but the burgers were probably some of like the most like balanced, nutritious meals I had, which actually made me feel the best afterwards, because it was just like good bun, good piece of meat, some like vegetables and stuff, piece of cheese, like really, really good. I was impressed with them. And then the hotel on the last day, I also had like this like granola thing for breakfast. Again, I picked like the healthy option because I wanted to feel not awful after I ate like every other meal, but it was still just like the biggest portion ever, and I could barely get through it, and I felt ill anyway because I was just so stuffed. I think a burger's balanced. For as far as meals go, burgers are pretty good. It's when you add all the fries and stuff that it starts to, you know, not be as healthy. But like a burger by itself, I mean, it has protein, carbs, vegetables, you know, as long as it's not like a super fatty cut of meat, it's pretty good. Pretty good. Do you like burgers? I love burgers. I love a good burger. Thank you so much, Dylan. I appreciate the congrats. That's really nice. Saudi couldn't finish the games. I know, yeah. It's okay. I didn't get to finish mine either, just because of time. We went to a 24-hour American diner. We went at 2 a.m. We got cocktails. This was after our run. I got French toast and chicken with maple syrup. Really good. Felt really ill afterwards. We got crepes at the mall. I got a Philly cheesesteak crepe. And you might have noticed a trend in these pictures. Maybe some of you have been paying attention, because a lot of these images have one thing in common. And that thing is the second sacred relic of America, chat. Yes! We're there, the second sacred relic of America. I know. Big times. The first one was air conditioning. What could the second one be? Everybody, I think the thing that everybody should know, that everybody should get to experience every day from every walk of life, is root beer. I love root beer. I love me some root beer. Root beer is just the greatest thing that has ever been. It's incredible. Not me, you're Canadian. Okay? You're Canadian. Root beer is so good. What's root beer? Exactly. Nowhere else has it. It's a sarsaparilla flavored soda. Sarsaparilla is like a root. Some people say it tastes like medicine. I think it tastes like sunshine and rainbows and happiness. It's incredible. Genuinely, every meal where we weren't drinking, like where we weren't having alcohol, I got root beer. If it wasn't alcohol, it was root beer. They have it on tap. Like every single, you know when they have taps, they have like Coke, Fanta, Sprite in the UK, whatever. In America, there's always root beer at every single one. Oh, so good. I got, I think, 8 root beers over the trip, which is just under 1 a day on average. But you've got to remember that probably 50% of the days we were drinking alcohol, right? So I think on the days where we weren't drinking alcohol, I was getting more than 1 a day. So good, man. So good. Here is a collection of all the root beers I took pictures with. I got an A&W with my crepe. I got a root beer at Chipotle. I got a root beer at this one. I got a frozen root beer at this one. I ordered a large because I thought that I could finish a large, and then I got it and I was like, oh wait, it's America. You can't order larges here. I had like a third of it. Because in the UK, I would have been able to finish a large. But here, nay. And this had ice cream in. Oh, I love root beer. I love root beer so much. Thank you, America, for making root beer exist. You guys are incredible, and I'm going to miss it dearly. There you go. Those are the two relics of America. The two sacred relics of America. Moving onwards with the presentation. We got Qdoba, which is like, it's like Chipotle, but like slightly nicer. I thought they tasted about the same, but it's like slightly more like up-end Chipotle, if you like. Pretty good, pretty good. Oh, it's the wine. The wine was okay. The wine was okay at Red Rabbit. It was like, we bought the cheapest bottle, you know. It wasn't anything crazy, but... Is that Nicolette Diner? Yeah, it was, JD, yeah. We went after our run. Sorry, my chat is like lagging. My chatbot like lags behind a lot. Let me get my other chat widget. It won't lag, so I can actually see you guys in real time. For some reason, my streamer bot one just recently has been like super behind on messages when there's a lot of messages at once. I don't know why. It's really annoying. Root beer float. It wasn't a root beer float. It was a frozen root beer, which they had root beer floats and frozen root beers, which is slightly different, but it was a similar idea. So yeah, we got Qdoba, which I can get a picture of, and then on the Friday night we got hibachi, which obviously isn't just an America thing, but they do it better in America. I think it was some of the tastiest food I've ever had in my life. Especially, I still think about Dollar's lobster. Dollar got like the lobster, and I was too scared to try it because I never had lobster before, and I tried a piece, and it was. Might be one of the nicest things I've ever eaten in my life. That one little bit of lobster, it was so good. They set fire to everything, as they tend to do. That was so warm. We went with like us four who were in the flat, and then we had Dangers and Lil Curbs with us. Great night, really good night. Really fun times, fun vibes. They formed. Oh yeah, they did. And we got sake, which is like a rice wine squirted in our mouths from a bottle from like across the table. And apparently usually they water it down when they do that so that you don't get really drunk. They didn't. That was straight sake, and they did like 10 to 12 second long squirts depending on how big your mouth was. You can take a euphemism from that if you want to. I'm just saying it straight up how it was. So that was like literally like 4 or 5 shots of sake at once in each person's mouth. It was insane. Didn't even check our IDs. Yeah, and then the final morning that CJ and Dal were here, we went to Hell's Kitchen. Really good food, incredibly huge portion sizes. Again, this was James's chicken strips. This was genuinely 3 people's worth of food. There were like 6 of these chicken strips that were this big each, and then like a whole army of tater tots. He didn't even order tater tots. He ordered fries, but they gave him tater tots anyway. And I got huevos rancheros or something. I don't really know what it was. It was like a crunchy tortilla with like beans and cheese and stuff, guacamole. It was nice. It was really nice. I don't know what it was though. And a root beer, as you can see. I didn't. Yeah, I mean the root beer thing. I didn't have any Coke or Dr. Pepper or anything. I ordered like lemonade. I literally only had root beer. The root beer, yeah, it was like 10 a.m. and I felt awkward. No, it wasn't. You guys slept in. But it was like the morning and I felt awkward about ordering a root beer for breakfast and I wasn't gonna, and then Dal just ordered it for me because she knew I wanted one, so thank you, Dal. Woo! In Asia, they don't care about ID checking. I was 16 in the restaurant. They just brought me sake and I drank it. Yeah. That makes sense. I'd waste so much food. We wasted a lot of food. We brought back leftovers most nights, but we ended up throwing out most of them at the end of the week. We snacked on them occasionally, but yeah, we wasted a lot of food. But they waste a lot of food, a lot of plastic. They waste a lot of everything over there. That's just what they do. That's just how America works. And then the final day of food. I got Panda Express, really nice. It's like not amazing, but it does the job. It's like fast Asian food. Good. Like you go and you get the box and you choose 2 meats and you choose your carbohydrate and it's like $10 and it fills you up and it's yummy. I really like, honestly, if we had Panda Express here, I think I'd go there quite a lot just as like a fast, easy thing. Lots of sugar, really sweet, made me feel a bit ill because of that. But if we had it here, it wouldn't be like that. So yeah. We got Shake Shack in the airport. This is our final meal in America. They didn't have any shakes. They were out of milkshakes. It was like 11 p.m. before our flight, but really good burger. Probably the best burger and fries I had, like super fresh. They called me Za. Don't know why. They just forgot the K, so I was just called Za on the order screen. You Shake Shack yesterday? Oh, did you? Nice. Zah, yeah. Like the new Pokemon game. Did you fly coach? I don't know what that means. Like economy? Zah. Zaza? Yeah, Zaza. Because Zach is such an I know, like, how did they mishear that so bad? Economy? Yeah. And that was the end of the food section. The next section is what we got up to, because there wasn't much sleeping. This section is actually quite short because we spent most of our time in the event place, but I think there are about 5 excursions that we did. You're talking about a person who didn't eat much? Oh no, that's true. I did say that there was someone who didn't eat much. That was James. Poor James. James struggled so much to eat while we were there. I think he was kind of anxious just about like traveling and stuff. And he struggled with like the portion sizes and everything like that. So he ended up like barely eating the whole week. He would like have like 3 bites of his food and then just like be full and not be able to have any more, which was a real shame. And he almost ate like nothing the whole day before our run, but we did force him to have a portion of fries, which he did say was very helpful. But yeah, so the very final day at Shake Shack, like an hour or less before we got on our flight, he actually managed to finish his entire Shake Shack meal, burger and fries, which we were very proud of. It was like the first meal he'd finished all week. So claps in the chat for James's Shake Shack. Yeah, I was really sad. I know, it's like you're there but the food is also so, like, it's partly just like traveling. I think you'd have been like that anywhere, just like, you know, big holiday, meeting loads of new people. But then also because the food is so like unfriendly, that just made it so much worse, you know? Like if you're in like some European country, like you might have struggled, but you could have gone a bit more because it's a lot lighter to eat. I wasn't just generally sad. Yeah, James had a really sad week. But yeah, activities. What else did we get to when we weren't at the venue? The first night we were there was Independence Day. So we went to the Mississippi River to watch a fireworks show. You can see it was like heaving. It was such a good vibe. Like so many young people, like music going on, like really, really cool vibe to be there on Independence Day. We barely got a seat. We found like one tiny space on the grass that no one was sitting in, and we got to watch the fireworks. This was like the finale of the fireworks show. It was crazy. I haven't seen that many fireworks set off at once before. I saw a crazy fireworks show in Munich while I was there that was like 40 minutes long, or like timed to music. It was incredible. But like they just it was like a half an hour show where they were doing them one at a time, and then at the end they just set off like the entire shows of the fireworks again, but at once. Like it kept going. What is going on? Like, oh my gosh. How many slides through? We are over 60 slides in. We are like coming to the end. The fireworks show? It was a fireworks show, right? It was very impressive. Yeah, incredible fireworks. You still hear them? Really? Yeah, we did hear them kind of all week. Did you hydrate? So we had a lot of fun in our flat. We played some Telestrations the first night we were there. That was nice. We played some Mario Kart, which I won all the we played 2 like Grand Prix of Mario Kart. I won them both. Just want to say I won them both. 6'4" Magnus. What? That's so good. I love it. I love it. That's what, yeah, that's how tall Della is. That is so funny. Thank you so much, Magnus. What a wonderful emote. That's hilarious. We had like we played Ring of Fire, which they call King's Cup, but it was the same thing. We played this for like 2 hours, and like everyone was super involved the whole time. Usually the Ring of Fire, people like start tuning out after like half an hour as they get more drunk. Everyone was like so locked in the full time. It was the best game of Ring of Fire I've ever played. Played some Mario Party, that was a good time. So yeah, I spent a lot of time at the flat. We already talked about Topgolf. We were talking about cars earlier and how they're all kind of fancy. CJ's car is no exception, although apparently we're watching that clip second because I put them in the wrong way around. There's James shooting ball in Topgolf. Topgolf is really cool. They have like these screens that track your balls and like different games. There was like a Sonic one that we played. This was the Fantastic Four one, or they just have like a standard mode where you just try and like shoot them in the rings. That was good fun. I enjoyed Topgolf. I wasn't good at it, but I enjoyed it. Ring of Fire. It's like a drinking game with cards, where like you pull cards and different people have to drink depending on what card you pull. How does one play it? You have to look up the rules. I mean, there's a different rule for every card, so like I can't just like tell you it now. And yeah, CJ's car, he tried showing us the self-parking, where like you line up next to a space and you just press a button and it parks for you. And like it was pretty cool, but it took like a minute. Like a full minute of like slowly reversing in to this space. It was really silly, but that felt like a very American experience, trying to, you know, sitting in the back of a self-parking car, and then I go home and I drive around my like 2006 Ford Fiesta. But like you can see the wheel moving without I'm touching it. It's pretty cool.
Oh, it's gonna nail it.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, the car screen was like glaring a little bit. And then it eventually lined him up.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. So yeah, that was pretty fun. And then two random bits so I didn't know where to put. I saw Lumen and I was like, oh, Severance reference. And we saw this like stand up, like this improv comedy routine at the event. I probably should have put this in the event section, but that was really funny. That was with Adef, and it's right there. What is his name? I can only think Greg, but not Greg. They were really funny though. They're such a good duo. Apparently like they like do improv. They like are an actual like pair and they do like shows and stuff. But yeah, that was really, really funny. That was really funny. Oh yeah, Mello, yeah. Yeah. That's the one. Save it Deltarune? No, I didn't want spoilers. I didn't watch Deltarune. Was this funny CJ sock jokes? It was actually funny, as opposed to not so unfunny that it was funny. This was just actually good comedy, and it was, yeah, it was all improv. So it was like someone in the audience gave like the basis, and they like made this whole scenario out of it and did a whole drama, and it got like super out of hand. It was really fun. But the best thing of all to do in Minneapolis is the Mall of America. We actually ended up going to Mall of America twice, and it is incredible. You will never see anything like this in the rest of the world. There's a theme park in the mall! Like roller coasters and stuff. I put this image in because, hello, shout outs again, Ray. There's a Ray here. It's a Stingray. Don't you mean Dad's 2006 Ford Fiesta? Yes, I do. I can tell CJ's looking at me. What, because he's looking down? Oh, his disappointed face. That was when you were too nervous to go on the ride, after you'd asked to go on the ride, I think. You worked with his team, did you? Oh, the Mall of America's so cool. I mean, like, hold on. We have some videos here. Yeah. Not that one. But like this is like the big like theme park section, and then there's also kind of more mall-y sections with stores like kind of around it. It's like it's all so huge, but it's like so cool. And yeah, we ended up going on this roller coaster here, which had like a couple loops in. It was really fun. But yeah, Della was like, can we go on the roller coaster, please? And we were like, hell yeah! And then we walk over to it, and she's like really nervous and tries to back out of the queue after she'd asked to go on it. But no, we all went on, and it was fun. It was a good time. Yeah, there's just a theme park inside of a mall. Like, that's the ceiling. It's like Pleasureland, Skegness. Yeah, West Edmonton. What, in California? I can't say I have. I remember your online friends IRL. They were pretty much the same. Like, we got them better in person, I think. I find it much easier to talk to people in person. Yeah, we had a really good time. I'll get to that in a little bit. This is not special. I'm being Canada elitist. Oh, okay. Edmonton. Oh no. Well, you told me about one in California, Dollar. I thought that's what you're referring to. Do you mean that? Do you mean the one in Canada? Yeah. I mean, we have like shopping malls, like big shopping malls here, but none with theme parks inside. And we did this like mirror maze, which was like fun, but it was $12 a person, and it lasted maybe 5 minutes. So it wasn't really worth it, but it was a good time. And then I found loads of frisbees. I thought that was really cool. And we just did a bunch of shopping. I didn't buy anything, but like James got some new shoes, and like Della got some new pants and stuff like that. So yeah, and then on the last day before our flight, we went back. I went with Jambo and Karate Man and Mitras, and we did Moose Adventure Golf, which was so cute. We thought it'd just be 9 holes, but it was a full 18 holes. That took like an hour, and it was like really cutely themed. Like we had a really fun time. I came second last, so I'll take it. Yeah, it was just like a really good vibe. I don't know. I was just like kind of sitting like smiling the whole time. Like, I mean, it's about as fun as mini golf gets, you know. It's nothing crazy, but it was just a nice time, a good vibe. And it was all like kind of I don't know, like American West themed, I guess. Like gold mines and that sort of thing, and meese, whatever it is. That's true, Dad. I do remember hearing about that. Seeing else in this vid just shows off we usually told you about. We'll get to that too. We'll get to that for sure. Alright, so that's them all done. The next excursion we had on Thursday night was karaoke. I have 2 clips of karaoke. The first one was all the boys, alright? Who was at karaoke? Me, James, Dallas, CJ. Mitch, like Mitras, Star, Chris, Adef, so also I think it was just those people, but one of them, the very first song we did was Frank Sinatra. Oh yeah, and Domo, yeah. Just it was beautiful. All the testosterone in that room. And then the most special performance of them all. I'm just gonna play it. I still see the knot on my face. Can't take that pain on that mistake. I take the wire and I know so much pain, but I am unworthy, so I can't see more cats. So he had to look up the lyrics, so I'm gonna call him a fake fan, but he did pretty well. And James had this tambourine the whole time, which he was just jamming with. It was a good vibe. It was a good vibe. Yeah, that was fun. Did you do karaoke? I did. I wasn't going to. The whole week, I was like really anxious for it, and every time someone asked what I was gonna sing, I was like, nothing, I'm not gonna sing anything. 2 songs in, I was like grabbing the mic off people. I had a great time. I did Mr. Blue Sky. I did a Paramore song, an Ed Sheeran song. I did Ride by 21 Pilots with Dalla. Singing wise, that didn't go so well, but it was a lot of fun. But yeah, CJ did not jump dreams. Need I say more? Where are the Zach clips? I didn't really get many clips of myself, and no one sent me any. Sad. Anyway, I love karaoke, sitting in a control room with my BF watching other people have fun. Do you just like not like doing it, Valancio? Is that what you mean? 5'11" versus 6 foot memes in the Discord. Okay, hold on. Oh my gosh. That's great. Yeah, karaoke was a good vibe. James says it was his favorite part of the week. It was a really good time. Yeah. Where is my slideshow presenter view? There it is. And now for, I believe, the last section. The people, you guys, woohoo! Everyone who I met loads and loads of people, and I have tried to compile as many of them together as I can. I mean, I met so many people, took so many pictures, and lots of pictures on other people's phones, which I never got back from them, and also just so many people, which I am terrible at asking for pictures. I don't think I asked a single person to get a picture. I think every single picture that we got was someone else asking me. So like, if I met you and we didn't get a picture together, I am sorry. And you see me with pictures of everyone else and you think, why didn't you get a picture with me? They asked me. That's something I'll do next time, is I will like be more proactive in asking people. But yeah, this time, this is just all ones that people had asked me about. We're not gonna talk about the run? What are you talking about, JD Puppy? I don't know why you're saying that. You did a good job of catching me at the end. Yeah, but again, you were the one who asked for the picture, you know? But yeah, so the main group that we were with were these guys. This was us at the mall. I have no further comments on this picture. I did make a promise, but this is kind of the main group that we were vibing with most of the time. So it was me, Dallas, CJ, James, and Swalso staying in the flat. Caitlin was with us for most of the week, or like most of like the middle of the week, and they were staying in a different hotel, but they like, you know, chilled out in our flat all day and we hung out with them. Caitlin's really cool. And then Mitch and Chris, who I hadn't met before and I didn't really know, but I became really good friends with them, especially Mitch. We hung out with Mitch on the last day, after everyone else had gone home, and he's like so chill. He's like a pretty big streamer. He has, you know, he gets a good few hundred viewers. He does Dark Souls speedruns and stuff. He's very talented. But no, he's so cool. And Chris is also really fun to hang out with. He's like, he asks you a lot of icebreaker questions. We were sitting at dinner, and he just keeps going like, so what are your top 5 favorite video games? So if you could turn into any animal, what would it be? Just like constantly all dinner, and it was really fun. He's like so much fun to talk to. Yeah, they got stuff from American Eagle. I didn't want to be tempted by more clothes, so I just sat outside. But yeah, I mean, this is a good height. This is a good height comparison again as well. I'm very tall. Well, I went in for a bit, and everyone else was looking at clothes, and my back hurt, so I sat outside. So I don't know what to tell you. Want to show my clothes? I mean, you were going around with other people. I was in the store for like 5 minutes. I didn't see you a single time in there. You were like off doing other things. Oh, now it's an ad. Okay, well, we're just gonna have to stare at this picture, and you guys are gonna have to try and figure out how Della magically grew 4 inches. You got Hot Topic? Yeah, we went to Hot Topic. It was pretty good. It wasn't anything special, I don't think. Just loads of t-shirts. Box Lunch was really cool. I really liked Box Lunch. That was a very cool store. I'm gonna miss not having that one. It's like an optical illusion. You can only tell that something fishy's going on because your feet just aren't there, unless like you're standing perfectly behind like Caitlin's legs or something. But it's like, where are Della's feet? We'll never know. But she clearly, yeah, she's just like perfectly positioned her feet behind Caitlin's legs. Favorite earrings from Hot Topic? It was like you know in HMV, Karis, where they have the wall of t-shirts. It was just that, but every wall, and then just more t-shirts in the middle of the store. It was just all t-shirts. CJ looks really short. Wait, Della's taller than CJ. I didn't even clock the fact that she was taller than him in that picture. It's a really nice picture of Chris. Chris like very rarely smiles, so it is nice. It is very nice. Yeah. I have Pusheen pajama pants. Oh, we saw like Pikmin ones that Della really liked. I was trying to convince her to get them, but she wouldn't. She's actually doing the splits. Yup. All right, the ad is over in 10 seconds, and we will move on. Who took the picture? Yeah, just a random person. Some rando. All right, here are more pictures of our little group. There's Della and I in the board games room. There's Della and Sawalso. I saw them off the balcony in the venue. I don't think either of them have seen that picture. And here's Della, Chris, Caitlin, and Sawalso sitting on the couch watching everyone. This is like top 5 favorite pictures in the event, maybe top 3. I really like this picture of all my friends sitting there. And then like Danger's off on the side. There's like Cheese J, Karate Man. Who is that? Is that Punk Shot or someone? Yeah, really like that picture. And then another person who wasn't really in our group too much, just because we kind of had like different friends who were already there, but one of the like, you know, coolest people to meet, and you know, one of the people who I spent the most time with and was the most grateful for seeing was Philly. Philly is so lovely. Like, we got on super well. Honestly, we both really wish we could have seen each other more. We just both got like kind of pulled doing like different activities with our own individual groups, so we didn't get to see each other too much. But Philly is an absolute legend. We had an absolutely lovely time with him. The first day that he got here, we like sat in his hotel room for an hour while he made a thumbnail for a YouTube video and just like chatted and like caught up and stuff. And yeah, he's very cool. He's very just down to earth, like as you'd expect. Philly's the best. He's the best. He's just a chill, cool guy. Super like easy to get on with, you know, super easy going. He's very fun. And here's Philly and CJ on the couch. This picture also in like the top 5 favorites. I don't know what it is. I really like that picture of them too. I think it's really nice. We have some other friends who we made. Here we have that party we were playing Ring of Fire. This was the only picture I got of any of these people. So I just like, this was a snapshot picture that I zoomed in. Here we have like Chris, we have Adef, who we hung out a lot with. Adef is really, really cool. That is Della's hair. I cropped in this one because Della's like bare foot is very clearly visible in it, and I didn't think she'd want that online, so I cropped it out for her. And then we had Parky and Lil Aggie and Mitch, who were like off camera, but we did hang out with them a decent amount too. They're really cool. But yeah, Adef is so funny, dude. He is so funny. He's like, his one-liners are just on point every single time. Like, you'll say something and like 1 second later he just has that response to it, and it's always hilarious. I don't know how he does it. I mean, he was the one who did the stand-up comedy. Like, he's obviously just got something wild different in his brain, but he's really funny. Yeah, he makes really good videos. He's like one of the staff members. Yeah, he's very cool. He's a very cool guy. I hope I see him again. He's got that sparkle. Are you trying to say that? Don't you usually say that when you think someone's gay? I don't know. This was a big group of people that went to Top Golf. I don't know who like 90% of these people are. Like, we were just in our own individual lanes, so I was just hanging out with like the group and Philly. Never heard that before? Okay, fair enough. I'm like right over there. Oops, I'm like right over there in the back. There's Jambo. Della is directly behind me. She didn't want to be in the picture, and I was the biggest person to hide behind. There's Philly. There's Oddme peering through. That's actually a terrifying smile from Oddme, if any of you can see that. Who Oddme didn't recognize me. I just want to let that be clear. I wasn't wearing my badge. I went up and said, "Hi, Oddme," and he said, "Who are you?" I was like, okay, ouch, you're literally on my private Twitter, but sure. Once I told him, he was like, I think he was just like, you know, overwhelmed from like talking to people and stuff, and he was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. But yeah, that was really funny. Classic Oddme. Classic Oddme. We met Dangers also kind of like Philly, just like super like down to earth and chill. We were at this like house party for a couple of hours one afternoon, and we just all sat around, and there were just like 4 or 5 of us, and like we just talked with Dangers for like 2 hours straight. He's just like so easy to talk to. Lil Curbs, really cool guy. He was very tired, so we didn't get a lot out of him, but we went to Batchy with him. We played Trivial Pursuit with him. Really nice. We talked about YouTube and like SMO and Mario Maker and stuff for a bit. Sweegie again, tanking the wing challenge, and then also Greed and Geek and Jack. That was like their kind of group. We did see them. I didn't get any photos with them, I'm sorry, but we met them. They were also very cool and fun. Here are a bunch of pictures I got with people. We got JD Puppy, who's in chat right now, incredible host of the run, super cool guy. We met with him like the day before the run to like talk things through, and it just really like put our minds at ease, made us feel really good about it. We got Midrow, we got Ads, we got Epic Crossover with King J, Cheese J, and I got more on the next page. We've got Karate Man, we got Hex, love Hex. We only got to see him like twice, which is a shame, because like Hex and I were pretty good friends before the trip, but Hex is like so lovely, and I'm really excited to actually hang out with him sometime. I found a couple screenshots on stream from when we met people. We had like Bob Loves Cheese in the background. Crafty Boss sat with us on stream for like an hour doing some mod stuff. He was like great to meet. He was like so excited about 2P. We talked to him for ages. And then like so many other people that we met and took pictures with. Like after our run, we had like 20 people take pictures with us, and I only saw like 4 of them. So if you're one of those people, please send me or like post them online and tag me your pictures with me. I want to see him. I want to see him. I got the picture I sent you. Perfect, Kaitlyn. Perfect. And then this was a picture of after our run with a bunch of people who were watching. I've labeled them all. Spike, I haven't talked about Spike yet. Spike is so awesome. He's just such a great personality. I love Spike so much. He's like, you know if he's in a room when you walk in the room, because you can hear him above everyone else, because he's just so like energetic and bubbly and has such like a distinct voice. And that brings us to our final section, the end. Because, you know, we had a great week, but as all things happen, it ended. We had our final day. This was Sunday morning, like just after midnight on Sunday. We went and watched the closing ceremony. The hall was like completely full. They raised like $2.4 million in total for Doctors Without Borders. like so amazing. And then I have a clip of the end credits here, the runners on the end credits, because if you look close enough, where are we? Where are we? There's Jambo. And. There I am, Zach in the box. Hell yeah. So yeah, that was really cool to see, and we watched that in the hall, and like we cheered when our names came on. It was a really nice vibe at the end there. Yeah, super sweet, super like bittersweet, the whole ending. And like saying bye to everyone was really hard. I've lost my presenter view. And then this was the final day. You know, we packed up the Airbnb. We had to leave the Airbnb at 10 a.m. but our flight wasn't until 11 p.m. So that's when we went to the mall for the second time to like, you know, like kill some time. But yeah, that was like a very long day, and I got a picture of them like packing up the event hall here, and then our incredibly long, like 30 hour journey home. Goes by in a flash. It kind of did, but it also kind of didn't. It was yeah, it felt like a good length, I think. I think if we were there for 5 or 6 days, it would have been, but we were there for 10 or 11, and I think that was pretty perfect. We were thinking about stuff that happened the first couple days we were there, and it felt like months ago, you know? I think we got as much out of it as we wanted to, and it didn't like fly by too fast. It was pretty good. There's also on the plane home, I didn't sleep a single wink on the plane home. Like just, I mean, it was just a leg room. I could only sit like bolt upright like this. I couldn't move at all. So I ended up being awake for 34 hours from when I woke up on Sunday morning at like 8:30 a.m. to when I went to bed on Monday night at home at like midnight. I was awake for, yeah, it's something crazy like that. And I slept for 15 hours straight. But here I am arriving home. I mean, you can immediately tell it's England by like all the fields and stuff. I felt like so at home. Heard my first British accent on the plane for the first time in like over a week, and I was honestly, James and I turned to each other and we were just like so relieved to hear a British person. Train home was a nightmare again. We flew into Heathrow, and then I had to get the train home, which is another few hours away, and I had to sit on the floor between carriages pretty much the whole way because it was so busy. It was awful. But I made it home. I don't have a picture of me making it home. I do have a picture of me making it home, but it doxes my address, so I'm not going to show you guys that. And I was left with one final parting gift. COVID. I got home, woke up after my 15-hour nap, felt a bit off. I thought it might just been jet lag. Felt worse and worse throughout the day. In the evening, I took a COVID test. Tested positive. Past 2 days, I've been bedbound pretty much. I mean, I've been up and about, but like so sore, like achy muscles, achy bones, sensitive skin. Haven't been able to like do anything really. That's why like this stream is a couple days later than I wanted it to be. It was rough. It was very rough. Did not have a great time with that. I'm finally on the mend now. Today I like feel pretty much my normal self. You can tell I'm a bit stuffy, but like other than that, I feel absolutely fine. But yeah, that was really rough. And that's it. That's the end. Woohoo! We did it. Any questions, anyone? Any when I'm missing anything, am I? Am I forgetting something? How is the what? The run. We forgot about the run. Well, we didn't forget, we left it till last. Of course, the thing that we were there for, the thing that we raised the money for, the thing that got us out to America in the first place. Don't call me a dork. Jambo and I performed a 2-player any percent speedrun at Sgdq, and it was incredible. It was so incredible, and we need to talk about that, obviously. So the first thing that we talked about earlier when we found out the run got in is that it was an incentive run. It was a bonus run. Which meant that there was no guarantee that we actually got to do it unless we hit the donation incentive, which was $700,000. When we woke up, it was at like $550,000. We had to raise $150,000 during that 12 hours until our run for us to actually be able to do it. And we were so nervous. We were so nervous. We were like sitting in the board games room and like just staring at the projector behind us with like the donation incentive filling up. And we ended up going home before our run for a little bit just to like, you know, like change outfit and like freshen up and stuff. And we sat at like the breakfast bar, me, James, and Della, just like shoulder to shoulder, like looking down at Della's phone, watching it so intently for like 15 minutes straight as it started to get close to the end. And this was the moment that we all saw together. You have a clip for this moment? Ah,
Zach,
nice.
check Discord DMs. I have a clip for this moment.
I don't think I blinked one bit now. And we were staring. We weren't even watching the game. We were just watching this one corner of the screen. And this was the moment that it all came down to. Please.
A little bit of foreshadowing there.
We have hit that $700,000
Oh boy, we're playing the game.
unlock the Super Mario Odyssey bonus game. Thank you all so much for your generous donations.
Let's go.
Everyone was chanting SMO in the crowd after it got hit. It was so sweet. It was so sweet. Oh yeah, yeah. Jay had a video from the crowd of it getting hit.
SMO! SMO! SMO!
Yeah, you could hear it on the stream. So sweet. So yeah, that was like such a special moment. Just like us in the flat watching that get hit. And then the nerves like disappeared for about 3 seconds. And then, oh shoot, we have to do the run now. you know, like it was, yeah, that's when the nerves really kicked in. Because the whole day we were just like anxious about the incentive getting hit. We weren't even thinking too much about the run. And that's when it all started to feel like very real. So, you know, we got a ping from like the Sgdq Discord almost straight away being like, hey, can you guys head over to the green room? So like we threw on our shoes and like we started making our way over. Oops, sorry, it's really loud. And we started making our way over. This was me like walking to the venue, like, you know, to go do the run. We get to the green room. It's like incredible. Like we get sat down on like these sofas with like these like cool LED lights and stuff. And they say, just wait here, like we'll call you up when you're ready. They had like a fridge full of Red Bull, like granola bars and cereal bars and like whole cases of like water bottles and stuff like that, all complimentary. I like joined a call with my friends for a little bit and, you know, said hi to them. And then they called us up on stage. And something new that they did this year is they had 2 stages. Which you might have seen ages ago. I can't be bothered to scroll back and find it. They had 2 separate stages, like up at the front in the showroom with 2 setups on, when they used to only have 1, which meant that while the other runners were going, about half an hour before our run started, they got us up on stage and got us set up, which is incredible. That was like the most incredible blessing. I don't know how we would have done it without doing that, because we got to sit down. I sat down in my chair. The headrest was like here. It was like shoulder level, and I was like sitting like this against the headrest, and I asked him to take it off, and this guy sits fiddling with headrest for ages. He's like, I accidentally took this off earlier and I just can't get it now. And they eventually just swapped mine and Chambo's chairs because his was like lower down anyway. But like, yeah, you know, at first it didn't fit in my chair. It was like an absolute nightmare. But you know, they gave us our headphones and our headsets, and it felt like being in like a helicopter. Like we could barely hear the crowd, but like we could hear them, you know, like it was like everything was super quiet. It was just like us 4 in the game. We could like hear ourselves talking, which is a bit disconcerting at first, but it is like the best thing to do. And then once they like sorted out all the audio, we just like ran around, practiced. I think I have another, yeah, here's some more pictures of various people from the crowd, you know, while the other run is going on. This is just us like being set up and stuff. And CJ and Philly, like we knew when we chose them as commentators that like they were the best, you know, the best fit for the job. They would bring the best energy, but like it was absolutely confirmed in that moment because them 2 were incredible. They were so incredible in this half an hour where James and I were like so anxious, especially James. He'd been anxious all week. He hadn't eaten anything. Like he felt awful for this run. But the entire half an hour, CJ and Philly were just sitting, just cracking jokes, like asking us questions, like keeping us going, to the point where like we completely forgot that we were about to go on, you know, like we were just like sitting there, like vibing, practicing DSS, talking to them. Honestly, such a blessing to have them two on the couch, like in our headsets before the run. I really can't thank them enough for that. It really made a huge difference. And then before we knew it, they called us on, and we got a little thing on our headset saying, "You guys ready to go?" And then we go, "Yep, ready to go." And I hadn't really like rehearsed what to say and stuff like that because again, we were just like so busy chatting that we didn't really think about it. But this was the moment. All eyes on us, our eyes on the gameplay, and the layout switch scene.
Yeah, welcome in everybody. How are you doing tonight?
And look
it's so good
at
to
that
see
crowd.
You.
We
Thank
had
so
that
much.
hall almost fully filled up. It was incredible. There were probably 500 or more people there. It was so incredible. Yeah, you can see there's like Della and there's Sawalso and Chris and like Dangers and King J. There's Spike in the background. I think there's Cheese J there. You can see everyone. But the run, if you guys haven't seen it, you have to go and watch this run. I'm going to show you like a few highlights now, but it was truly a masterpiece and you're about to see why. First of all, we just hit everything. We just hit everything. Oops, how did that happen? I did not mean to do that, sorry.
56, Mario Odyssey.
Can I like fast forwards? Oh, it doesn't let me use like arrow keys to go through it? That sucks.
Mario. But bear with if it takes a few attempts because this is a very hard track
oh,
to get.
Please. Please.
Get into the
please work, Mr. PowerPoint.
We're not going to be doing that. There is
Scream so off DSS. Let's see if we can hear you.
Jump off as Mario. But bear with if it takes a few attempts because this is a very hard track to get and we often reset to it a lot.
We often reset to it a lot.
Never mind. Let's go. Let's get a huge round of applause for Jambo.
First try, DSS from Jambo. But it doesn't stop there, okay? This was kind of the point after getting DSS where we just kind of relaxed into it and it was just us and the game, all right? Yeah. You know, like the time passed so quick. Like it got to Bowser's and like I was just like, how did we get here? It felt like it'd have been 10 minutes. It just flew by.
There are lots of like call outs and stuff like that.
First try DSS.
Which we might have to do. Over right now to Jambo's controller to time an input.
First try Pablo clip.
To clip through that
crazy. All right, go to Lake. What happens with triple jump Lake clip? Let's see. Really hard trick. He misses it a lot.
It's a pretty easy backup.
Triple jump freaking Lake clip. 2-frame window. Okay, Jambo. He missed nut clip in practice in like the run earlier before that. We go to Wooded. We're going for maze clip just to show you guys it. We don't go for it in runs because like it's so crazy inconsistent that we just don't even bother going for it in world record runs.
It's another moon clip.
No way we get it, right?
1-frame window to get.
The crowd's reaction to this one is one of my favorites.
Oh my goodness.
Gonna cry again. You can see she's like Stella is like so proud of us. It's so sweet.
I've actually never seen them hit that. That's
yeah, amazing. And it just kept going. I did miss pipe slip. I apologize for that one. But it just kept going and it kept going and it kept going. I mean, we missed pipe slip and Giggler were the two tricks we missed, but like that was fine. Giggler was also due to snapback, which like obviously like it is technically James's fault. Like he could have, you know, not done it. But again, it's just like weird. Oops. It's just like weird controller stuff, which is kind of hard to avoid. I should really just switch to YouTube, but I feel like I'm too deep in now. So yeah, he just got snapped back there, not a big deal. You know, we hit that. We hit
it's pretty good in most aspects, but
we hit Toe Dram.
After this cutscene, if my mashing was fast enough and his movement's good enough,
I know, damn snapback.
Up there just on the wire.
Like, I mean, I'm going through every single trick in the whole run, and we just nailed them. Reverse poison, like, I got like a crazy good capture warp here.
Onto the blowy Joey over here.
Like, perfect. And then like a super good spine even up afterwards too.
Like half the time it would normally take to finish this room.
There was like a bit of a mess up on Snowdram, but it was just a problem with the setup. So like, we lost time to it. We didn't miss the trick or anything. And then the only big mistake, really, Luncheon was a little bit sloppy, but again, the crowd loved it. It was like really cool to show off. We got Invis Block and like the Fork Dram afterwards, which people were like super into.
Which we can activate with Cappy.
I wonder what the reaction to Fork Dram was.
I'm gonna leave
Fork Dram, I almost called it.
Mash the D-pad again to keep ground pounding.
This one's super inconsistent, but.
And then I walk back across.
Yeah, that's GTA just going like, what? Like, where did that come from, you know? Nailed like all the Bowsers. It was so good. And then we got to Moon. And we had decided in advance that we were going to get the checkpoint here. And if we missed Mooncave Skip, we were going to die and try again instead of just doing it on the Sphinx. We never miss Mooncave Skip. Mooncave Skip is like 97, 98% consistent for us. But I got a mid-air here, which happens sometimes, and it's entirely my fault. But the weirdest part of it is that neither of us reacted to it. Both of us knew something was wrong, but we could have saved it, saw it as a mid-air, and just dove back. But we just didn't. We just went for it for no reason, even though it wasn't going to work. And this is what happened. Yeah, because I got a mid-air off the edge, but we did what we decided. You can save that, but we decided no, just engram hand into void, and we're going to try again to show everybody. Really glad we did.
And we're going to give you guys a good show.
As you can see, though, this is very much two-player exclusive. Zach is controlling Cappy under Jambo, so he can ground pound on it and barely make the wall stop. There it is.
And there it is, Mooncave Skip. So really cool, great reaction. That clip got like posted around a bunch, but you know, the run, which was really good, it was looking like kind of a low 56 or something, which is incredible because we in practice the best run we got was like a mid 57. We were getting 58s and 59s every run in practice, and then we got to escape, and then everybody we got to escape, and this is where I'm just gonna let it play out.
It was very tricky.
The low battery was so funny. It was so funny.
But coming up
that JD saying dad there will make more sense if you watch the rest of the run. You should go watch it after the stream.
Rambo, who's going to be finishing out the rest of this run by himself. I mean, what I can do, I can take Cappy here and we can have a look at Bowser.
I accidentally hit the camera here and almost made him walk off the edge. It's very silly.
Awesome hairstyle, which you can see there. He's looking very cool.
All right, and now that Jambo is going to be getting ready for the hardest trick in the game.
Oh, Philly.
Let's hype him up.
Philly should not have done this. He should not have done this. But it also made it so much better.
Okay, so
just watch.
We go in the 2D section here, but there are some very tiny hitboxes around the 2D section which you can barely jump on. You can skip the entire thing.
Oh my God!
That is so awesome.
And yet again, the first time I've seen him get it.
First try, 2DSS. He never gets that first try. If you've watched any of our 2B streams, you know that's like 1 in 20 that he gets it.
Oh, I almost forgot.
I did forget.
We whacked on our shades for the final room. Della's already crying.
We just have to break down these 4 pillars by shooting 5 fireballs at the beach. And then
that's the favorite part of the week, yeah.
And that will be time.
Gotta take a second though to just appreciate how insanely well you guys played this run.
Yeah, thank you so much.
This is like beyond anything they were able to do in practice.
I just looked at the timer. This is
everything.
And that's when I realized this run was not a low 56. I genuinely had no idea at this point what pace this run was.
And they're gonna get sub
55, everybody.
Guys, we got a 55.
Bowser shoots out of the wire here.
They did split late. We got a 55-58, which is the time of our very first 55 that we got.
That is time!
And we turn around, we have a standing ovation from the whole room. Like I said, there were like 500 people there. Every single one of them was standing up and cheering. It was like...
Audience, let's continue to give it up for Zach and
I don't know what to say.
Standing ovation. You guys are amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
So amazing.
What a run.
It's so wholesome. It is so wholesome.
I do want to squeeze in a $25 donation from Melissa that said had to donate.
I don't even have words of how much I love this moment. Me too. Me too. That's like one of the best moments in my entire life. Like easily. That was like turning around, like getting the 55 after the 2DSS, turning around, seeing an entire room full of people standing and cheering for us. It was, yeah, it was just incredible. And like following this run, we had people for the rest of the week coming up to us constantly outside the venue as well, like on the streets of Minneapolis, congratulating us, saying how much they liked it. We had so many people saying that it was the best run of the event. that it like made their entire week. We had one person who was like, yeah, I came out like by myself. I was like a bit nervous for it. You know, I've kind of been like going around all week, like not really talking to anyone, not really sure what to do. But I saw your guys' run and it made the whole thing worth it being in that room. And like that just made me melt hearing them say that, like, and like so many stories like that. We had like GDQ staff coming up to us saying that it was like a perfect textbook GDQ run. Obviously the gameplay, the skill, but also like the commentary was something that I got a lot of compliments on, because I commentated like most of the run, because James was playing the game and then Philly and CJ just kind of like filled in like, you know, jokes or like little facts or stuff like when I had to concentrate. But most of like the commentary in terms of how the run worked and all the 2P stuff was me. And like I had so many compliments on it, saying that it was just like absolutely perfect. I squeezed in everything. I didn't like have to rush anything. I wasn't like talking over myself or interrupting myself. Like we talked about everything we wanted to. It was just every part of this YouTube video right here was perfect. Even the fact that they cropped in the VOD to be 59 minutes and 46 seconds. The VOD is sub-hour, which I love. It was just perfection in every way. And I'm so grateful for it. We got a bunch of very cool photos. They had like professional camera people who go around taking photos while you're doing the run, which was super nice. And I will show you now. You've probably seen most of them because I posted them everywhere that I can because I love them so much. They cropped the is that it? Oh my gosh, the is that it? They did crop it a little bit. At the end, we were like, I said goodbye and we were just waiting for the scene to transition and it just never did. And CJ goes, is that it? And then it immediately transitions. But they cropped it out in the YouTube video, mostly. It's just... Yeah, there's a clip on the GDQ channel of that. I don't know how I could possibly find that, but it's really funny. It's really, really funny. But yeah, these are the photos. These are the photos that we got of our run. There's this one. You've probably seen this one. I don't know, why is my mouse like that all of a sudden? It was not like that before. I don't know, it's kind of cool. I wish I kind of had that the whole time. This one is like my profile picture everywhere now. I made a profile picture on like every platform. These two really cute ones. Then two more of me, one wearing my shades. I don't like these ones as much. I think I look weird as hell, but people said that they're nice, so I take their word for it. We had these really good ones of Jambo like just smiling and having such a good time. And then another one of him wearing his shades, you know, like locking in for whatever trick that is that he's doing. Maybe that's 2DSS, I don't know. Oh, the pictures of James, they're really good. Yeah, James definitely got better pictures than I did. They're really, really nice. We had these two of the couch. As I said, this one especially I really like, but they're both really nice. They just look so like happy to be there and so like in their element, which they were. I mean, again, CJ and Philly were just incredible like couch people. Exactly what we needed, you know, just took off a load of the pressure, made us feel so comfortable. It was great. It was great. And then here are pictures of the audience that we have. Again, there's this one of the couch I already showed you guys, of the back couch rather. We have Dangers, Dalla, Chris, Kaitlyn, Swalso, Agron, Punkshot, I think, Exotic, Karate Man, Cheese J, Epic Crossover, and then I don't know beyond that. There's more people like cheering there. There's like King J, GT Ace. I don't remember who that is. I don't know if we actually properly said hi to them. Dangers again. There's Bob Loves Cheese speaking out there. We had Adef was like sitting on the floor like between Dalla and Chris for the whole run, but I guess he'd moved by the time that these pictures that the photographer came around. Punkshot yawning. I think that's a cheer. Oh wait. Oh, I'm lost now. I don't know. No, I think that's a cheer. And then after the run, we were like swarmed. We got off that stage and like we were swarmed with people for like 15 minutes. Just so many people coming up, giving handshakes and hugs, and asking pictures and talking about it. We met like Lunatic J was one of the names, and like GTM, the 64 runner, came up to us. And we got this picture with a bunch of people, but there were like so many more people. After we were like swarmed on this off the stage for 10 minutes, we like got our stuff, like went back to the green room, left the green room. Huge crowd of people outside. Felt like when you're at like like you go to a musical and there are a bunch of people waiting at stage door. Like more people. We had a literal line of people taking pictures with us, like 10-15 people. Like it wasn't, it was just kind of a crowd, and one person has to take a picture, and then people started queuing up for it, and we just took like so many pictures of people. I haven't seen most of them. Please send me them, guys. Just like so much mingling, so many congrats. Stella was crying the whole time. She would stop crying, and then someone new would come up and ask her a picture, and then she'd start crying again. Like, it was just, I can't, yeah, I'll always remember that moment. It was so incredible. Yeah. Oh, someone got a picture with you while you were crying? Yeah, I know. So, we got a good 2 hours out of that. I hope you guys enjoyed my GDQ presentation, and I just want to say, above all, thank you, everyone. It was an absolute pleasure. It was all you guys that got us out to GDQ. I mean, all of you watching and supporting our runs, all of you donating during the subathon and everything like that to help us get there financially. Every single person who made it to this room sitting in there right now, in that clip. Every single person who watched online, all of you who donated to MSF to get our run on the stage or donated during our run to get donations read out, every single person who watched back the VOD and was chatting in my Discord. I went back and looked at my Discord, and there were like literally like over 1,000 messages during our run. People just use it as like a Twitch chat. Everyone was there. It was incredible. Like, yeah, what an amazing trip. All of my friends who I met, all the people who we went out for dinner with, and you know, just wow. Just wow. Having a watch party in OS, yeah, exactly. Like, my whole family like stayed up or like woke up at 5 a.m. to watch it together, and it's incredible. Yeah, JD, I think they all set alarms. I think they went to bed and then set alarms to wake up and then went back to bed afterwards. Chris cried? Chris is so stoic. I forgot about that. Yeah, I know. Everyone was so proud of us. I mean, look at like Sawalso like just grinning away, Della just smiling and clapping. It was so sweet. King J having a meltdown about how good the run was. Spike, bless him, over there. I mean, I don't even know who these people are. Who, like, you know, putting their hands up and I'll never get over it. I looked at him while I was sobbing and had tears in his eyes. Wow, yeah. Look at the handsome rate. I know so many handsome men on this stage. At least 4 of them, I'd say. At least 4 of them. Not asked about a time, me neither. I mean, I was saying that to like my family. They were like, it just sounded perfect. Like the trip as a whole. And I was like, it just was. Everything about it. Every single part of the trip. Like, nothing went wrong. There wasn't, apart from like the travel being a bit stressful and tiring and like getting COVID, but that was after the trip. Best night ever. Thank you so much, Jay. Me too. It's like nothing, it was just perfect. Every single part of it. And I'm so grateful for everyone who was there, and I already miss everyone too. Yeah, every single part which I just shared with you over the last 2 hours, that was just, I mean, that was just scratching the surface. Like, I showed you, I showed you guys all the main things we did, but like day to day, we would wake up at 10 a.m., do stuff until like 5 a.m., 6 a.m., sleep for 4 hours, and then wake up and do the whole thing again for the whole time. We got like 4 hours of sleep a night, like just crammed full days, no downtime. But it was perfect. It was exactly what we wanted, and there are so many special moments which happened, you know, off camera and we didn't capture and stuff as well, with groups of people or with individual people. Yeah, what a special time. I'm excited to see you guys again, and hopefully this last 2 hours has inspired at least maybe one person to book some tickets to Minneapolis next July, or for Pittsburgh this January, for AGDQ. I don't know when I'll be there next. Hopefully next year, but who knows? I don't know what my financial situation is going to be like then. And like, you know, the run itself was such a selling point, and I'm obviously probably not going to submit again because I don't have anything else to submit. I'm not good at any other speed run. Yo, Badge by Nature, I appreciate the tier 1. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Enjoy your celebration for the next month, Badger. I appreciate the support. Maybe want to get into speedrunning? Hell yeah, Kylan. Hell yeah. Didn't want to interrupt the presentation? Not at all. I appreciate it. Thanks so much for letting me be on the back couch. I wouldn't have rather had anyone else start. You were like our biggest fan and supporter the whole time. I mean, even before the event itself on streams and stuff. Yeah, I'm so glad everyone who was there was. It was great. It's true, it's true, it's true. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, thank everyone. I hope you enjoyed the festivities.